notice this. In fact, let me get it started over here. Let's get this party started. God bless you guys. God bless you. I want to show you guys something quickly, right? I played a song, and when playing the song, hang on a second, turn this down. There we go. I'm going to request, and I want to show you guys. I'll put the camera on so you guys can see what happened. And if I honestly want you guys to notice something. So I sent a request. Let me just see. There we go. Accept. Beautiful. Join. Okay. So watch this, right? I'm going to show you guys this. Let me put my camera on. So check this out. Let me give me this big screen. Hang on a sec. Look up in the corner there. Look at this. Check this out, guys. Check this out. 3 restrictions, right? For one song. I literally put on a song. Let's see what the restrictions are for. Okay. So restricted visibility, hate speech, and hateful behavior. I played a song. Hate speech, hateful behavior. Another restriction. So 3 restrictions. I was given 3 restrictions in just the opening. In just the opening. Do you guys see what I'm dealing with? This is under 3 minutes. Under 2.5 minutes, I've got 3 restrictions for hate speech and for yada yada. I honestly just want you guys to know what I'm dealing with. You guys, now I'm restricted again. My live is restricted. My appeals are not approved. But my point being, in the first 2 minutes of the live, this is because we know that Satan hates light. Satan hates light. Hate speech is not from the song, Jasmine. Hate speech doesn't come from a song. Notice in under 2 minutes, I get 3 attacks. Because, remember, light. They don't want the light to shine. They don't want the light. This is why Allah takes away the light. What does he do? He takes away the light. He takes away the light. That's right. So just to make Allah and everybody happy, I've then got to do, I've got to literally. Let me just tilt this down a bit there. I've got to literally dumb myself down, my topics down, all the stuff down. I've got to dumb it down to entertain TikTok and Muslims. So there we go. There's the topic, just to make everybody happy, make the, and the song wasn't offensive at all. That's right. The song wasn't offensive. The song is just saying this is a boom shakala. And the song is literally talking about what we're going to do. And what we can do is going to spread love. But again, notice, this is what I'm dealing with on a daily. This is how crazy this entire thing is. It's crazy that we're dealing with things like this, especially when we're supposed to be, this is supposed to be an educational video, an educational live. But it's okay. Notice, doesn't get me down. Not at all. Doesn't get me down. I come back fighting. Come back fighting. Question, have you got any Muslim guests on this topic? Yes, we did. And unfortunately, the first answer was, but the Bible says. But the Bible says. So again, I've got 2 or 3 days of this topic on Instagram, on YouTube. The YouTube is The Agents 007. You can find the link in my bio. And notice again, if they run to the Bible, the whataboutism, my question would be, well, you think the Bible is totally wrong, correct? They say, yes. Well, throw the Bible out the window then. Forget the Bible. Let's come back to your book. I watched the video today with Chachi talking to Malik's info, Malik was defending, and Chachi was saying to him, how can you defend this? This is evil. This is bad stuff. How do you defend this knowing that it's so sick? But they can't not defend it because it's accepted. It's part of the religion. They have to say, oh, it must be true. So because they're saying it must be true, then the question would be, well, if that's the best example to mankind. So, I mean, I unfortunately, I wasn't really preparing for a new topic today, because I'll probably do one tomorrow. I just got off a meeting now, so which that's why I'm a bit late as well. But again, when we get to these topics and we're asking these people for some answers, for some knowledge, for some help, they accept in the religion. Now, notice how TikTok finds it offensive to mention what 434 actually says. Because 434 says you're allowed to strike your wife. TikTok doesn't like it. You get restricted. You get banned for saying things like that. In a normal society, if I sat down at a table with a group of educated adults and I say to them, guys, do you know that it's okay to marry and, to strike your wife once you marry her? I promise you the adults at the table would be upset with me. It would be like, how dare you say something so silly at a normal conversation? And then if I said to them, oh, but that's in the Quran, you'll notice that because they're so afraid of offending these Muslims, they will be like, oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, that's, these are. And they just keep quiet because they're afraid. So again, if I sat down at a table and I mentioned 434, striking your wife, people around me would look at me like I'm an absolute muppet. If I then was to say to them, but the Quran also teaches that you're allowed to do adultery. You're allowed to have, slaves that you can dingy with. People at the table would look at me going, man, what are you? You're like 1,000 to 5,000 years behind in time. What's wrong with you? Haven't you evolved? Haven't you, matured and become better? Why are you still stuck talking rubbish? So now we can see two things. No one at my table would sit with me and discuss 434 because they would think it's awful. And then I'm going to talk to them about having a right and possess. If we go and, for example, now, say if we saw, watch this, let's take the Russia and Ukraine. Let's say, for example, that during this war, Russia goes and takes all these women captives and has them as their dingy, right? They dingy all these women. How many of us would be in uproar? I think everybody would, even the Muslims would, because again, it doesn't fit in. The Quran is so, desert doo-doo that it doesn't fit in with 2026. And it'll be like, nah, man, that's not going to work for me. So you can't take these women captives. And again, it's unbelievable that these people are defending this. So even if you went to, it doesn't matter where you go in the world. If you saw a man striking his wife, you'd be like, what? And a normal person would, step in and try to stop them. But again, notice, these guys are defending that you can have slaves. They're defending that you can strike your wife. And then they're 65-4. So when it comes to 65-4, they are still defending. Why? Because if they go against it, they're going against Allah and Muhammad. And if they go against Allah and Muhammad, then they're outside of Islam. And if they're outside of Islam, they're no more Muslim. Then they're the part of the hypocrites, and they're like us, and we'll go straight to hell, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Again, I wouldn't be able to have a conversation at my table to defend 434, to defend 424, or to defend 65-4 talking about penetrating children. I wouldn't be able to defend that. In fact, that would be a taboo subject at a dinner table with adults using common sense. So common sense now doesn't work in this type of scenario because we'd all walk away from that. But let's look at eating pork. I don't eat pork. When I got married and I had to explain to my in-laws that I don't eat pork, they were, oh, is that a religious thing? Unfortunately for me, it wasn't. It was to do with my stomach, because my stomach reacted to pork when I was a child, apparently. I don't remember that, but apparently I got very sick, and then they said just stay off it. And I've never eaten it. So I can't tell you that I did, but but again, not only that, we also didn't eat pork because of our family that's Muslim. And because we grew up with a Muslim family, half of them are Muslim, we took into consideration the fact that they didn't eat, so we'll respect them by not eating it. But never did they respect, like my dad, and make pork, or cook pork and say, well, listen, we don't eat it, but we'll do it for you. But you'll notice it's always the Christians that are sacrificing themselves to make other people happy. So we're giving up our, good life because we want other people to be happy. But again, you'll never find a Muslim saying, oh man, Penny over there, she loves her pork. Let me make a pork for her. Nuh-uh. But you, like an egg, will say, oh, she doesn't eat pork, so let me go buy halal. Because again, we consider it, we like that. We want them to enjoy themselves. We want them to feel welcome. So we bend over for them. They don't care about us. They don't care, and they will never care because that's not interesting for them. They just want to dominate us. They want to rule over us. They want to stop us from growing. And that's why they come to these countries in the West to destroy it. I watched a video this morning. Someone sent it to me of a Swedish woman saying, how she will continue taking all the benefits that's offered to her, every single benefit. Why? Because she wants the others to work. She wants the others to go and work for her, and so she can live off the land of the hardworking other people, so she can have children. She said that's her job. She wants to have children. Mufasa, how are you, sir?
Yeah, James, how are you?
I'm good, my man. I'm good. Let me turn up. I can hardly hear you unless you got a nice, soft voice in the mornings, afternoons.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Got you, my man. I can hear you now.
All right, good.
So before we play the game, Mufasa, I need you first to answer the question. Under normal circumstances, which one of these is not allowed in Islam? Now, I wrote the numbers down because TikTok got offended if you write down, for example, wife beating. See, TikTok gets more offended than Muslims in Islam because TikTok thinks that that's something bad, not a good thing. So the first one, 434, is wife beating. 424 teaches you can have both adultery and you can own slaves. 65.4 teaches that you can marry a child. But eating pork is D. So which one of these, under normal circumstances, is not allowed in Islam?
The obvious answer is D.
Beautiful. So then by saying that D is the obvious answer, you are saying that D is worse than 434, D is worse than 424, and D is worse than 65.4, correct?
I'm saying D is what Allah commanded explicitly not to do.
Yeah, I'm saying, so if he's saying don't do that, and he says do the others, so what he's saying is, if I'm being honest now, what he's saying is, strike your wife, don't eat pork. Have dingy slaves and commit adultery, but don't eat pork. Sleep with children, but don't eat pork. Correct?
Yeah, so Allah's command is based on the fact that when he commands something, it is based on what benefit it holds to the believers in general, right? So when we go to talk for certain reasons, and we can look at it scripturally, right? And also we can look at it from the health perspective, what is associated with eating pork. For example, the risk of cancer and stuff like that.
Risk of cancer, beautiful. So the risk of cancer is if you eat pork. If you eat pork, you have a greater risk of cancer. So don't eat pork, but strike your wife. The risk of cancer is so great, you rather have sex slaves and commit adultery, 424, but don't eat pork. Sleep with children, because that's okay, because there's a larger risk of getting cancer, correct?
Yeah, but you're just committing a category error fallacy. These things don't fall under the same category. eating pork
Okay.
has, yes, eating pork doesn't fall into the same category as having striking your wife, as you say, because one has to do with what you eat, the other has to do with instituting leadership and institutional how can I say leadership and structure in the household or in society. So they don't fall under the same category.
Okay, no, I get you. So there's different categories, but you agree with me when you said right at the start, 434 is better for you to strike your wife than to eat pork, because pork can destroy you if you eat the pork, and because it can give you cancer. But striking your wife is something that Allah thinks is better than eating pork.
Again, there is no correlation between the two. This is the problem. There is no correlation between striking your wife and eating pork.
Okay, there's no correlation. But can you tell me, as a husband or a father or someone of intelligence, if you sat down tomorrow, now listen carefully, right, Mufasa? If you sat down tomorrow at a table with people that you work with, and you say at the table, eating pork is worse for you than striking your wife. At the table, how many people would look at you and look at it as a different category, or will they think that you are an absolute fool for saying something so stupid?
Yeah, again, that would be another ad populum fallacy. Appealing to popularity doesn't make something right. If you're saying because people will frown at it, then it's wrong, that's just another fallacious claim.
Okay, no, I get you. That's fine. That's fine. So watch this then. Watch this. Can you show me or give me an instance where, for example, because so far you're saying to me these are different categories, right? So because they're different categories, I can't compare them. Is that what you're saying, right?
Yeah, they are different categories. They don't belong under the same.
Okay. So then they're different categories. I can't compare them. Yet you and I can both agree that this affects people, correct?
Yeah, of course they affect people.
Okay, beautiful. So if it affects people, then it doesn't matter what category you're in, it will still affect you, correct?
Definitely. Now let me expand on this. Sure. The reason why I say it's a category fallacy is because if you're gonna put a category for eating pork, you will say, well, if Allah says not to eat pork and then says you should eat or drink alcohol, or Allah says not to eat pork but you should eat so and so and so and so, which is also equally bad for your health, then you qualify it as as something that is preferential. Now this has no relation to when Allah instructs you to have a discipline or a structure in your home. There are two different things, right? If Allah had commanded you not to strike your wife, but then say you should not discipline your child, should just leave your child to do whatever he wants, then you have a cause to say, well, this sounds like a double standard or something like that. Then this is because this falls under the same category. You have a justification for that. So, but that's not what we have. That's not what we are applying here.
Okay, so notice now, right? We're trying to find ways to make it acceptable. So if I'm saying to you that we've got eating pork that destroys you from the inside. If you strike your wife or sleep with a child or commit adultery by raping a woman that you've taken as a captive, does that affect those people?
Does it affect them?
Yes.
That will be it will be subjective to each individual. I wouldn't make
anyone that's raped. Have you seen anyone that's just been raped
or kept as a slave
celebrating? Hang on, here's a question. Have you ever seen them celebrating the fact that they were just raped or they were taken as a war captive?
Yeah, so if you're defining rape in the sense where the man has to force himself, definitely. If the woman doesn't want to and he forces himself, then you will qualify that as rape. But that was not what the Quran is instructing. The Quran never instructs that you force yourself on the woman. It doesn't.
We'll see if that's true or not. We'll see if that's true or not. We'll go to the Quran and we'll read what the Quran teaches, and then we'll see, for example, how the companions of Muhammad. Hang on a second. We'll go see how the companions of Muhammad reacted when they had to sleep with other men's wives.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we can see that these men were just unalived, And 424 teaches you to commit adultery and to rape grieving woman, but that's better than eating pork because that's in a different category. But just 1 second, let Dawn ask his question, please.
Mufasa, can you confirm that this is your voice?
When you command something,
What?
is based on what benefit it holds.
Is that you?
I don't understand why.
Is that you?
And the fact that when he commands some,
Is that your voice?
why are you asking me that?
Can you confirm or deny?
No, I don't. I'm not in the mood to confirm. Why are you recording me and asking me if that's not?
Bro, it's on YouTube. Now, what you said, we're going to listen to what you said.
I don't care.
You
if it's on
said
YouTube.
generally positive for the believers or helpful. That's the category we're discussing. So
I don't
what's
care if it's on YouTube.
helpful for the... Yeah, so you can't do a categorical error fallacy because we're talking about living life as a believer. That's the sortal.
Bro, I don't care if it's on YouTube. You can post it wherever you want. I
No,
really don't
bro, I'm saying the reason I have the recording is because of YouTube. Now, I'm just addressing the category error that you said we had, but you admitted yourself it's about life in general for the believers.
Yeah, life in general is not something that is how can I say that is a food that has a one-sided or one composition food. We have life being fragmented to different aspects. You have life that is related to what you eat. You have life that is related to
you said it's about
1 second. In general, things are categorical. That is life. That is how things are structured categorically. Do you agree with that?
You put this under the same sortal, bro.
I didn't put them under the same sortal, man. What do you mean by sortal?
Because you said life, what is good for the believers. Is hitting someone a part of the believer's life? Yes.
Yeah, what is good for the believers in a sense, what can keep the structure within the Islamic system? What can keep Islam grounded?
So when you're striking your wife, who's the only one that you're controlling? Because the only structure you're controlling is the woman's. Can the woman strike the man because he's getting out of line? No. In your religion, it's a religion by man for man.
Can you dismiss your boss because he's out of line? In your workplace, can you fire your boss in your workplace because he's out of line?
You can if he goes. You can
fire your boss. How do you?
You can actually talk to his boss. You can talk to his boss again.
Oh,
because everyone's got a boss.
You can.
Everyone's got a boss. So I would fire
boss...
Muhammad and Allah if they came down and said to me, "Don't eat pork because that's bad for you, but be sure to strike your wife to keep them in line so that they can continue in Islam." Do you notice the difference?
Can your boss fire you directly?
Can you walk away from your boss if he asks you to do something immoral? No, oh my God, oh my Allah. If your boss tells you to do something diabolical, something disgusting.
That's not the point.
Mufasa, listen to my question, please. Listen to my question.
Oh
if your boss asks you, for example, if your boss says to you, Mufasa, I want you to go and kiss the man next to you. Can you say, I don't want to do that because it goes against common sense, my morals, my being, and who I am? Can you do that?
Yeah, you are yet to prove that striking someone is immoral. So I'm not going to grant you
beautiful, beautiful. So watch this now. So, and again, guys, thank you so much for saying that. Notice what he asked for. He needs evidence that this is immoral, that this is a bad thing to strike your wife. So let's do it properly now. Let's go and have a look and see what happens to a female or to a person after being beaten. Let me just see. Hang on a second. This is now he's saying, prove to me that this is something that's bad. So it says long-term mental effects for violence against woman, wife include PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. As one of the things, this can result in, now notice again, I'm getting attacked again from the, anyway, let me just get rid of it, 1 second. So it's saying over here that this can be the result of trauma, shock, nightmares, assault, physical abuse. All of these will lead people back into a Stockholm syndrome, losing self-worth, losing self-esteem. And who are the ones that suffer? The children, because of the battered woman, will not be able to give the amount of love and affection needed. to the hang on now. You asked for the question. You asked the question. Show me that this is something wrong. So far, when you do this to the woman and you're destroying who she is and what she is and her future, do you agree that that's not moral? It's not a moral thing to do this? That it's immoral, it's disgusting and evil, and it can only come from Satan? Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with you. I'm going to show you how.
You don't agree
right?
with it. So
Yeah, I
according
don't
to
agree.
you,
Yeah,
it's a lie that a woman suffers after the man punishes her.
Let me expound.
Well, here's the question. I'll give you a chance. Here's the question. So you are saying
You've already
that
asked
the
the
women
question,
are
man.
lying. The women are lying when they're telling you that they go through all of this, just like when Muhammad said, eat the honey. The guy said, my stomach is sore. It's worse after the honey. Muhammad said, your stomach is lying. Are the women lying when they tell you, or is science lying? Is the world lying to you when it comes back that women are destroyed after going through all this abuse?
Yeah,
is that a lie?
Yeah, I disagree with your point totally, because one, Islam doesn't say to physically assault your woman, right? It doesn't say to hit her and cause her pain, to hit her and cause her a red face, to hit her and cause her marks. You wouldn't find this in any of the interpretation of that verse. The most standard interpretation of the verse states that when the Quran says to strike her, what does it mean, right? You can either strike her with what? A miswak or a handkerchief. This is what is held by all the scholars, right? This is the position held by all the scholars. We know that as humans, we have within the skin what is called a pain receptor. It has to be a certain threshold, right? That has to be applied to you, or that you have to be hit with for it to activate your pain receptors. Using a handkerchief will not activate your pain receptors.
I would love Mufasa to hit you with my handkerchief, and I'll show you that I will cause you pain. I would love to take my
wait, let me finish.
and I will show you pain. But notice again, I'm telling you now, I will take my handkerchief and I will cause you pain.
Bro, can I finish?
Come on, don't be tough over here because you're flexing over women who are weaker than you. But anyway, continue, and then I'm going to show you from your sources how the women were beaten so badly that even Aisha had to come to their defense. But continue, please.
Yeah, that was not something recommended by the Prophet. It's just something that is recorded that happened.
A man shall not be asked as to how he beats his wife.
Yeah,
don't beat your wife like you beat your camel or your stallion. According to Muhammad, Muhammad had Abu Bakr slap Aisha across the face. The reason for this verse 4:34 was because a man struck his woman across her face. Did he use a handkerchief or a miswak? No, he used his hand and he struck her across her face. According to Aisha, the women used to get together after their beatings and talk about their skin being greener than anything else. So again, Muhammad,
your machine going at this point.
When Muhammad struck Aisha on the chest and caused her pain, did he use a miswak or a handkerchief?
Bro, can I go through my response first? Your machine gun.
I'm trying to give you a chance. I'm giving you a chance. Because now, notice now,
you're giving me a chance by asking me more questions.
You are defending beating your wife because I can't find a moral excuse for it. That's what you said. Show me that it goes against or that it's morally wrong.
Bro, I was on a point before you interjected and asked more questions.
Keep going. I just want everyone to notice this. Is Islam. You can marry a Muslim man if you want to be beaten. Continue.
You can ask those questions when I land my points. I'm happy to answer all your questions, by the way. I'm happy to do that. Right. So again, as I was stating, this is clearly mentioned in the book of Fiqh, right? How this should be applied, right? And it says you should hit her or you should strike her in a way that doesn't cause her that shouldn't leave any mark or scar or anything. Right. Now we know to hit someone with a miswak and not cause a scar, it means to hit them in a way that they wouldn't feel any pain. That is what it literally means, right? And we have in the Quran where Allah says you should not harm the women and do not cause them any harm. That is a literal clear verse.
Stop. Listen to this is how the hypocrites of Islam are, the Muslim hypocrites, right? It says, love your woman, don't hurt them, but 434 them if you fear disobedience. You fear disobedience. Then you say, don't hurt the woman, but you tell her she's equal to a dog and a donkey. But don't hurt the woman. Just tell her she's a half brain because she's deficient in intelligence and deficient in religion. So you keep knocking her down. But listen, I need to treat her with respect, even though she's equal to a dog and a donkey. Now, again, I'm asking you, Mufasa. Can you tell me the reason for 434? What is the Asbab Nuzul for the verse coming down? What was the reason? When you're treating your woman so nicely, but still calling them a dog and a donkey, I dare you, Mufasa, to go to your mother and say to her, you know, mums, I love you. And, you know, you got intelligence that's half of a man and you're equal to a dog and a donkey. You tell me if that's not worse than telling her after that, oh, you know, mums, you the best woman I know. What happened? You just destroyed her by calling her these names, and then you're going to say to her, but, oh, you know, we're supposed to elevate the woman, but you're still a dog and a donkey. Don't forget that, you know, it's okay, but, you know, don't forget your place. But please continue. Tell me the reason for 434. What was the Asbab Nuzul for this verse?
Well, bro, I haven't even finished my point. You keep
I'm not. You starting to annoy me because you're making excuses for why a man is allowed to strike his wife. I'm asking you, 434. What is the reason for the verse?
Yeah. So let's look at it. 1 minute.
King Drake, God bless you, my man.
God bless you too, dudes.
Imagine while he's doing his little search, guys. Imagine saying that to your mother. Oh, mums, I love you. Allah said that you the best.
That's not what the Quran says.
But you are so great. Allah says you're so fantastic. But don't forget,
that's not what the Quran says.
Equal to a and a woof woof.
That's neither what the Quran says, not the Hadith. You just making stuff up, man.
So the Mustafa's like, oh, we can hit her with a handkerchief, but it's like in Islam, a handkerchief actually means a brick. That's just like a child means a woman.
But what are you going to say, Mufasa? I asked you about the reason for the verse 434. Why did it come down?
Yeah, 1 minute.
I'll read it for you.
Let me finish. Let me finish my. Yeah, I have the reason for it. Let me finish. Then you will say, right. You can answer the question, and we can go through what you're reading. Well, let me finish my point that I was making. I was on my legs before you called me.
Please make excuses for how you can strike your wife. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I was saying, right, the way the Quran has prescribed, and when Allah says do not cause any harm, do not cause women any harm, the scholars have already taken all of this into consideration, and also based on authentic hadiths that the Prophet never struck anybody, based on what Aisha said. She said all the life that she lived with the Prophet, she never saw him hit anybody. That is another aspect, right? So we look at all of this, we look at what the Quran says, and we take from it what it means when Allah says to strike. It doesn't mean to cause harm. It doesn't mean to cause scar. It doesn't mean to cause physical pain. It doesn't mean to cause injuries. It is just a means of warning, right? And you don't even have to get to this point. You can also do 1, 2, and then you can request for divorce.
Yeah, 1, 2, and left, right, before you hook her. Come on, man. Just get to the point. Get to the Asbab Nuzul, and then we'll go to see how Muhammad struck Aisha.
Yeah, when I say
according to the verse 434, what was the reason it came down?
When I say 1, 2, there are 2 things that are described first, right? It says to either admonish her and then abandon her in bed. You can admonish her.
There's no first and there's no second. According to the verse, it doesn't say first do that, secondly do that,
yes,
and finally that's another lie. It does not.
Yes,
it does not say that. Mufasa, don't lie. I know you're allowed to lie in Islam. Do not lie to me.
The
verse that never says first.
Do you know what thumma is? What do you mean thumma is?
Can you please show me where it says firstly do this and then secondly do that and finally do that?
Yeah, it says then.
Then is something else. Then doesn't mean number 2.
Yes, then means, then in Arabic means one coming after the other. Thumma, this is the word that is being used.
Exactly. Now again, what you said, one coming after the other, meaning
the first
you can do all of this without anything else.
No. It has to come in the manner that they appear, right? This first.
Okay, but anyway, I'm not really interested in admonishing them and banishing them. I'm trying to get to the point where you're allowed to strike your wife because there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I just gave you what it means to strike. This is what is
okay. So watch this, right? Now you lied about this, guys. He lied about firstly, secondly, and thirdly. I asked you to explain there's Asbab Nuzul. I've got an Arabic-speaking people. He himself that came to Muhammad, Jibril, is here in the house. God bless you, Jibril. I rang the bell.
Hello, brother. How are you?
God bless you. Jibril, according to verse 434, does it say firstly, secondly, and thirdly?
No. Mufasa, can you show me where does it say thumma in the verse?
Yeah,
Can you
let's
show
go.
me? I can tell you the verse. I've memorized it. وإن خفتم نشوزهن فوعظوهن واهجروهن في المضاجع واضربوهن. This is what the verse says. There is no thumma.
Yeah, okay, it says وَضْرِبُهُنَّ, meaning and,
Where's
and.
thumma?
Exactly.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
Mufasa, busted for being a liar. But that's, I mean, you're Muslim, it's okay.
All right, so
I mean, you're Muslim, you know, you're allowed to
yeah,
lie.
so
to
when
people.
Allah says, okay, when Allah says,
So hang on, no, my turn, hang on.
Yeah.
Because you lied, I'll just jump in. You said and. So it says admonisher and banisher and striker. So it's not saying firstly, secondly, and thirdly. It's saying and, as you mean. So you can do all of these things, and it doesn't stop until she becomes obedient. Until she's obedient. Because let me get to the verse. Because the verse again kind of cooks you again. You know, Islam gets cooked all the time.
oh
Let's
my
find the
God.
verse. Yeah, no, oh my Allah, don't forget that. Because it says, and if they, let me just find the verse, it says, but if they obey you, seek no means against them. So it doesn't say first, second, and third. It says and. So it's admonish them and, banish them and strike them.
Mhm.
Then it says, but if they obey you, then it's okay, you can stop. It doesn't say strike gently and lightly, like you liars like to add to the verse. So
Does it say
again,
strike
according
harshly?
to this verse, say
Does it
again?
say strike? Does it say strike? Yeah, does it say strike harshly?
What does it say? Strike gently?
Yeah. So I'm asking, does it say strike harshly?
Does it say strike lightly?
Mufasa.
That's what I'm asking. You're
What
making
does
it like the verse
أضربوهن mean?
says. The verse doesn't say whether to strike gently or harshly. So how do we get to
What
the point
does
of
it
how to
mean?
Yes,
strike?
Baba
Let
Nuzul
me
explains
finish.
it, and the
Let me
Green Skin
finish.
explains it.
Who's Asbabul
Sorry,
Nuzul? What tafsir are you reading?
Wahidi. I don't know why you're
Oh
laughing.
my
This is
God.
what you guys gave us. You guys said to us.
So can
"Don't
you show
read."
me from what hadith this is from? Can you give me the hadith that he's taking?
This is not a
from?
hadith. This is as Baba Nuzul for verse 434.
Yeah, as Babul
reason for
Nuzul
revelation.
is a hadith. Yes, it contains in hadith. There's a narration within it. So where
So are you
where
disagreeing with
what's-
Are you disagreeing with Wahidi saying that
Yes,
the reason
I
the verse
disagree.
came? Okay, so show me your Asbab Nuzul and tell me where you get it
Yeah,
from.
I don't have any Asbabul Nuzul.
So, but
Well,
I have.
I'm
It's
asking you.
Funny how I
I'm
have it.
asking you for the authenticity of the hadith that is being reported here, of this
Go ask
narration.
your
that is
Allah
being
to
given.
give it to you because I'm just
Oh
reading
my
what you guys
God!
gave me.
Now we see.
I'm reading what you guys have given me.
Now
If
we
I
see.
read it as Baba Nuzul now, so that's also wrong.
Yeah,
You're
so
caught
why
lying
don't
twice
you
so
find
far.
this in Ibn
Liar, you were
Kathir?
caught twice so far.
Wait,
So
why
I just
don't
want
you
you to
see
lie
it in
again
Ibn
and again
Kathir?
and again because Allah does not support the liars according to Islam. And you've lied twice already. Now you're getting cooked again. I'm asking you, if I don't take Wahidi and Wahidi tells me, then can I also go, for example, to, let me take Sahih Muslim, Hadith 2127, when
Yeah, we can
Aisha
look at
says
that.
clearly, when Aisha says, he struck me on the chest, which caused me pain.
Does this have anything to do with 434?
Well, I'm showing you that it's consistent that
Wait,
you're
does it
allowed to
have
strike your
anything to
wife,
do with 434?
and it's
Is it
nothing to
Asbab?
do with the siwak, and it's nothing to do with the handkerchief, and it's not gentle. Because if it was gentle, then Aisha wouldn't be crying, even
So-
though she's a child, and he struck her on the chest, which caused her pain. I'm asking you again, according
Yeah.
to this verse, where she's been struck by a grown man on the chest and caused her pain, did he use a siwak or did he use a handkerchief when
Now,
he did
watch
this?
this, guys. He's making a correlation between 434 and what transpired between the Prophet and Aisha. When the Prophet asked Aisha, "Did you think I didn't see you?" When they have no relation, they have nowhere where they interject. 434 and the recording in Sahih Muslim have nothing in common. You can never.
If you fear
bro,
disobedience,
bro,
hang on a
bro.
second. Let's see if it's true.
Oh my God.
Let's go to the verse.
Can I
Let's
finish?
go to. Don't say, "Oh my
Can I
God." Say, "Oh my
finish,
Allah."
man?
Listen to what it says. If you fear rebellion, if you fear. So did he fear that Aisha went against him? Did he
Oh
fear
my
that
God.
Aisha disobeyed him?
Oh my God. So can you show
And
me,
did he
bro?
strike her as Allah said you can?
Oh my God. No, it
Don't
has
over
not.
Allah.
Yeah, it has.
Again, listen.
Yeah,
Okay, forget that.
yeah.
Listen to my
Oh.
question. According to the hadith, did Aisha do something that Muhammad feared was bad? And did he 434 Aisha on the chest, which caused her pain? Yes or no?
No. First, you haven't proven that this verse came after the incident or
It
before
doesn't
the
matter.
incident. Yeah,
Allah is
bro,
reactive.
Bro, calm down.
Allah
calm
is
down, man.
reactive.
Bro,
Allah
calm down.
reacts to things. He's not proactive. He's reactive.
Yeah, so you have to show that this is the Asbabul Nuzul for this verse. You haven't been able to establish that. So if you're saying it's
Oh
reactive,
my goodness, dude.
then you have to show that.
I'm
Yeah,
showing you. I gave you.
is this the
I gave
Asbabul
you
Nuzul?
Wahidi. You said, no, I don't
Yeah,
take him.
Wahidi
because
is
he
where is
actually
he
agrees
getting the
with
narration
Christians.
from? Where is he getting this from? What is the source for this narration? Because it's a
It
narration.
must be from Ibn Ketchup.
Yeah, what is it? Where can we look for this narration? Can you give me like a book? Where does he get this narration from? Is it a weak narration?
My man, I can't do your homework for you. I can't cook
Bro,
you
you're bringing
and
the point.
feed you at the same. I can't cook for you and feed you at the same
Bro,
time.
I'm
you know, you want to choose
challenging
one
your
of them.
point, so you have
Right
to
now, I'm
prove, you
cooking.
have to prove me wrong. You have to bring the evidence, man.
I
Yeah,
have the evidences. There's
You're the
Baba
one
Nuzul for
making the
Wahidi.
claim. You're the one making the claim. I'm asking you, can you
Dude,
give
I'm
me?
telling you that I've got the Baba Nuzul.
Yeah, the Asbabul Nuzul, there are weak narrations that are being used in Tafsir. Don't you know this?
Okay, so let me see. Hang on a second. Let me put this on the screen for you, just so you can see. Because again, making excuse as to why you
I
can
know.
read
I have
your
it in
mind.
front of me.
Oh, so you have it in front of you. You have
Yeah,
who do you have in front of you?
I see the Tafsir. I have read the Tafsir from Wahidi.
Okay, so you have
That's
Wahidi.
what I'm
Can you
telling
tell
you.
everybody? See what a coward you are. Can you tell everybody what did Wahidi say when it came to this verse? Because I have it in front of me over here, right? So Wahidi, let me just see if I can find what you're looking for. Introduction. Who you want to? What are you looking for? Because if you have it in front of you, you can actually read who gave it to him and where he gets his information from. Correct?
Yeah, I have it from the Tafsir, the different Tafsir for the verse, not like from
Okay, give me the
actual
Tafsir.
book or something.
Give me the Tafsir for verse 434, please, the one you have. Oh my Allah, give me the Tafsir for
bro,
the
it's
verse
in
you have.
Bro, it's in Quran X, man. It's on Quran
I just
X.
asked you to give me the Tafsir that you have for 434.
Yeah, give me a big screen. You have Ibn Abbas. You have Qas al-Sahra.
What site are you on? What site
You
are
have
you on?
Al-Jalalain.
What site are you on?
This is Quran X, man.
Go
Quran
all the way
X.com.
down. All the way down. All
This
the way
is
down.
yes, Wahidi is right here. This is Wahidi.
Beautiful. What does it say next to
I
Wahidi?
already told you that Wahidi is here.
Okay, can you tell me what is
Bro.
the meaning of Asbab Nuzul? What does that mean?
Yeah, it means the reason for revelation.
Boom shakalaka. Now, can you tell me, according
Yeah,
to
so-
Wahidi, what was the reason for revelation?
Yeah, I already told you this is. Yeah, I am not disputing that he didn't say this. I'm saying
What
Can
was
you-
the
yeah, bro.
reason for revelation according to
Okay, let's read.
Wahidi since you
Let's
there?
read. Said
Thank you.
Mukatil. This verse, men are in charge of women, was revealed about Said ibn al-Rabi, who was one of the leaders of the helpers, Mukabe, and his wife Habiba bint Zayd ibn Abi Zuhair, both of whom from the helpers. It happened, Said hit his wife on the face because she rebelled against him. Then her father went with her to the Prophet. Allah blessed him and gave him peace. He said to him, I gave him my daughter in marriage, and he slapped her. The Prophet, Allah bless him and give him peace, said, let her have retaliation against her husband. As she was living with her father to execute retaliation, the Prophet, Allah bless him and give him peace, called him and said, come back. Jibreel has come to me, and Allah exalted is he revealed this verse. The messenger of Allah, Allah bless him and give him peace, said, we wanted something while Allah wanted something else, and that which Allah wants is good. Retaliation was then suspended. Sa'id ibn Muhammad ibn Ahmad al-Zahir informed us.
They call me James, I reduce some to stutters. All of you lying abusers get hunted. I come with truth and the proof you discover, and I'll give it to you, then you'll get to running like boom shakalaka. You 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 get to running like. I just ask questions and you cook yourself. I could refute you, but you don't need help. I set you up to say truth from your mouth. You give proof when you shout that your fruit is in doubt. If you're truly devout, why you lying so much? I don't hide in the cut, I be firing you up. You thinking you sharp, but I'm lining you up. Bro, you won't scare me, stop trying to be tough. Y'all never focus, redemption seems hopeless. That energy soulless, and everyone knows this. We level these copers, cause heaven has soldiers that never give over to mental controllers. We over your head cause you don't know the spirit. Y'all go to Mecca to hope for forgiveness. How you atone by a stone when you kiss it? Next verse is worse, bro, you don't wanna miss it. They call me James, I reduce them to studies. All of you lying abusers get hunted. I come with truth and the proof you discover, and I give it to you, then you get to run it like boom shakalaka. 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 You get to run it like. You wanna cry and then bring out the Arabic. I'ma turn arrogance into embarrassment. I'm having access to all of your scholars, and internet translates the Arabic for us. Dang it, there's more cause there's Christians that's Arab that give us the language like Sil, for example. Nowhere to hide your own lyrics will spank you. Then I'ma hit you from the fact that you think that us Christians are weak is exactly the reason you give us this. But you getting this cheek and I won't match your energy. God lives in me. River to sea, we gon' free Palestine because they finna see when we tell them you're lying. Us Christians gon' pull them up out of the fire. When they ask who did it, just tell them the lion. Judah! Yeah. They call me James, I reduce them to stutters. All of you lying.
Okay, so. Okay. So, apologies. But as usual, we can see what happens. I'm just Are we back? Yes, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize. They decided to take away the live stream from moi. So that's gone. I'm still trying to see if this is all working as it should on the YouTube. 1 second. Jabril.
Hey, brother, what happened? Did you get any warnings or anything, or
I get warnings all the time. I probably had like 6 or 7.
Yeah, the restrictions I know about. Yeah, you get them, but you didn't get any warnings before this ban.
No, though they were sending me restrictions for hate speech, and then.
Well, Mike, I can't understand. How can it be hate speech when you're reading from the Quran? Honestly, I mean, what are they telling us? The Quran is hate speech?
Let me double check YouTube. Are we active on YouTube? Are we good on YouTube now? I tried something. I played a video so you guys could watch that while I fixed. while I went from one account to another. Okay, YouTube is working. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I apologize. That got hit. So that account's gone again. Hopefully I don't lose it forever. It's just on another mission. I did request or send in a, anyway, give me, Jibril, can you just, for a couple of seconds, just explain to everyone why? I just want to, I need to do something with my account. I need to appeal. So if you can just take it from here, my man, just for a couple of seconds. Okay, you muted, but it's okay if you want to be like that.
Where is Mufasa? Mufasa, is he coming back or is he gone?
I have no idea. Now, what I was going to say was, if we could just show people why, let me just see. Where's the account? There we go. Why 434? Because as you said, there's no firstly, there's no secondly.
No, you see how sneaky he was? He's adding words to the Quran, taking advantage, thinking that there is no Arab speakers listening, and he's trying to add words to the Quran to change the meaning of the verse. Did you see? Oh, man. When I asked him, can you show me this thumma, the word thumma in the verse? Straight away, he changed. Because it doesn't exist. It's not in the verse.
And this is the unfortunate thing, right? Because these people are so evil, is that they do it so nonchalant. They don't really, they're just so okay with lies and lying that they do it so naturally. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's thinking, oh, well, James doesn't speak Arabic. If I say this, he's not going to know whether it's there or not. I mean,
well, that's the beauty is I have it on my screen, right? So I've got a screen over here where I've got the Arabic word for word, and I'm reading to see what they're saying. I'm actually listening to what they say, and I'm double checking. Man, these people are liars, guys. You can't trust a Muslim, man. It's like a snake. I've said this before. If I had 1,000 snakes outside of my front door, and one of those snakes was poisonous, just one, and you said to me, bring in one snake from all the 1,000, I'd be like, nah, because you never know what you're going to bring home.
That's right. Well, it's not the first time anyway. I mean, how many times they get caught lying about verses in the Quran, trying to change the meaning, trying to force a meaning that doesn't exist in the verse. It does not exist, but they do it all the time. They do it all the time.
See, while you're talking, I've already got 2 hits, 2 restrictions for hate speech. 2. Just while you're talking now.
Well, we didn't say nothing. What did we say? I mean,
see these topics, man. These topics, guys, you'll notice that it's not us, it's the topics. As I said, I've said it before. TikTok has a better moral compass than Islam.
James, I was going to ask you, when you open your life, do you set it up as 18 plus?
Hello? Normally do, yes. Normally
yes.
do.
Well,
yes.
Because if you do set it up as 18 plus, maybe these hate restrictions won't come in.
I normally do. I normally put on the screen. I'll do it again.
You always do it, because I see other lives, they always set it up as 18 plus, and man, the things they speak and the swearing and the cursing, and they sitting there smoking and doing all sorts of things, and they never get restrictions.
Anyway, let's talk to my man Hades. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You're Muslim?
Yeah.
So I just had a conversation with a guy called Mufasa. I don't know if you know him, but he kind of agreed. He was, I mean, all the Muslims agree that 434. So what I'm going to do is, the reason I've got just the numbers up there is because TikTok finds it offensive, and it goes against community guidelines if you say that striking your wife is okay. TikTok has better morals. TikTok says, nah, can't use that because that's sick and evil. And then we use 424, which teaches you can't commit adultery and own slaves. TikTok says that's not something polite and nice, so we, better morals, so we take that out. Then 65.4 TikTok says no person with a brain in their head would marry and penetrate a child. So, 6, we have to use the numbers. But according to Mufasa, he agreed that striking your wife, good, eating pork, bad, owning slaves and committing adultery, good, eating pork, bad, marrying a child and sleeping with a child, good, eating pork, bad. Can you just tell me, is that true, or has he misunderstood?
I mean, I think you're misunderstood about the verses. That's what I think.
Beautiful. Then you can help me understand. We can start with the first one. According to the Quran in Surah 434, are you allowed to strike your wife?
Do you know what strike means?
Can you please teach me?
Yeah, it doesn't mean hit. So for an example, if let's say hypothetically,
Do you
my
speak
little
Arabic?
sister or my little brother,
Do
right?
you speak Arabic? Do you speak Arabic?
No. So
Well, then you don't know the meaning of the word.
Wait,
man. The meaning-
Jibril, let's please. I'm dying to hear this excuse. I mean, because now we're gonna learn.
so let's say like
come
my
on,
little
sorry,
brother,
ladies.
right? Like he put like his hand over like a flame or something, and I striked his hand out of the way, and I said, "No, that will burn you. Don't do that." Did I hit him or did I help him for his benefit? Did I strike his hand out of the way?
Okay, but did you physically touch him?
Yes, to help him.
Struck him, right? You physically touched him.
Yeah, but not hitting him. I just moved his hand out of the way.
Struck him. It doesn't matter to him.
Yeah,
he
for the
felt
care
pain.
of him.
I know.
Did
But
you
listen
punch?
again.
If you punch someone in the face, did you hit him?
Yeah, but that's not striking him.
It's hitting.
Yeah, that's hitting, not striking.
Okay, wait.
You
hang
know
on a
what
second.
striking means?
Watch how now we're learning today. Thank you, Hades, for helping me understand. So you hit someone's hand away from the flame.
Strike.
That is striking them, right?
It's not hitting, it's striking.
Okay, when you strike someone, do you hit them?
No, it's not a form of hitting.
When you strike someone, ladies and gentlemen, when you strike someone, you don't hit them. When you hit them, are you striking them?
قصمك من حبيبي ابن الشرموطة أني شمك من فيك قصمك يا أخو الشرموطة ما كنت معلش
Allah,
من
Allah,
فيك قصمك يا أخو الشرموطة الله حنيك ماك من من الشرموطة قصمك من الله يلعنك.
Kiss أمك يا قحبة.
That's okay, Jibril. Don't go down that road. Did you guys see that? He was waiting for the opportunity to speak like Allah speaks and Muhammad speaks. He thought he was back in the masjid. He thought he was Muhammad again. But thank you so much for that, my man, because what you've done is you've proven to everyone that you came in and you thought you're going to strike me by hitting me, but you hit a miss.
You see
But
what
that's
happens
nice.
when they
Thank you
corner?
so much.
As soon as they cornered, man, they straight away they go to this.
But this is a good example, and I hope that you guys see why we should never be Muslim, because this is what they actually think of us. This is how they want us to see them, because they want us to fear them through this hatred and nonsense. But it's okay. We don't mind, because we are stronger than you. We always will be.
James, in the Arabic verse, it says, "أوعظوهن وهجروهن في المضاجع واضربوهن." The word واضربوهن, it comes from the origin word ضرب. And ضرب, it means to hit someone. Whether it's a strike, whether it's a slap,
Eating
whether
bull
it's
is
a
haram.
punch. Okay, it's ضرب. In Arabic, it's ضرب, hit. That's what it means.
Abraham, how are you, sir?
Alhamdulillah.
So I didn't hear what you said. You came up and you said something.
Yeah, eating pork is only haram.
So eating pork is haram. So striking your wife is okay?
We don't hit them, no.
Okay, but hang on. If eating pork is haram, and it says only one of these is haram, and eating pork is haram, then striking your wife is good. Owning slaves and committing adultery is good. And sleeping with a child is good, because that's what 434 is, 424 and 65.4. So if only eating pork is haram, then the other three are halal, allowed, correct? That's called a checkmate, boom shakalaka. Quite embarrassing that you had to keep quiet now, because you came up, you were very confident in eating pork is halal, is haram. You are very confident of that.
Okay,
but it says on the screen, it says only one of these
We
is
don't.
not allowed.
Okay. You gotta understand. We don't hit wives. We don't eat pork, and we don't really marry children.
Don't really marry them, but okay. So watch this, my brother.
Yeah,
Let me ask you.
we don't.
I actually think that.
I mean, it
calm
depends
down
on
a
what
bit.
you're talking about. It's because
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Can you
it's
tell
a
me?
cultural thing.
Is-
It's not an Islamic thing.
Okay, hang on. Is it cultural or is it Islamic? Because it's in the Quran, correct? If it's in the Quran, is it cultural?
No,
or
it's
is it
not in the
Islamic?
Quran. No.
Beautiful. So now I'm glad. Thank you for coming. Watch this. Do you have a Quran with you, my man?
No, I'm not home.
Okay, so beautiful. But do you agree that in the Quran, in Surah 434, it teaches you that you're allowed to strike your wife?
Mm-mm.
Can I show it to you?
If you have a Quran,
Yeah, I can show it to you. I mean, I'm using one online. You can tell me which chapter you want to go to, or maybe which type of Quran you use, but I'll show it to you now. I'll go to 434 and I'll show you what it says, and we can see. Do you speak any Arabic?
yeah.
Beautiful. See that? Now we're getting somewhere, because that's what we like to hear, man. That's what we like to hear.
So much من القحبة من الشرموطة. I need so much من القحبة في عكس so much من الشرموطة. I'm gonna fuck your religion. Fuck your religion. Fuck Christ. I'm gonna fuck your mom in the ass. So much من
Hey,
القحبة.
Macarena. Aisha.
Nigger.
Milkshake brought all the boys
gonna
to
fuck
the
your
yard,
mom's
and
name.
she's like, it's
Nigger.
better than
I'm gonna
yours.
fuck your
And they're
mom. I'm
like,
gonna fuck your
it's
mom. I'm
better
gonna
than yours. Just remember,
anal your mom. I'm gonna anal your mom.
Muhammad got zutted. Your best example to mankind. They had a lineup on him, man. There was a long train. He was zutted, boy, from morning till evening.
This time I kept quiet for you, James.
See, guys, we give these people a chance. And what do? They absolutely embarrass themselves. This is why, guys, what do? We just take them to school.
I
That's
swear
what we're
to
gonna
God,
do.
James, I knew it was the same person. I swear to God, I knew it.
I wasn't too sure, man. I was,
No,
I'm giving
I
them the
knew
band.
it.
They all sound the same anyways.
Yeah, no, I knew it was him. But I thought maybe he had a change of heart and he's better mannered now. But no.
But it's okay. You
Oh
see
my
that?
God.
That's like water on a duck's back. It meant nothing to me. Nothing to me. But them knowing that their prophet got ridden by, like how this guy's riding the horse, that's how they were riding Muhammad.
Yep.
That's how. I didn't block him, Dawn. I can't remember what his name was. So I didn't block him, but it doesn't matter. Just
No,
like
it
how the
doesn't matter.
Zut rode Muhammad, these guys over here think that we're going to be affected. It doesn't affect me. You guys can say whatever you want. All you do is show people how evil your God is, how evil your religion is, how evil your book is.
Yeah, you don't need to block them because you need to have Muslims' manners on display every now and again for everybody to see.
That's
They're gonna come
for
in
those
and
that
start
don't know,
that
that
way.
was from Quran, Surah 115, the one that Kaab had in his book.
Yep.
So, but this is, again, is a good example, and it's unfortunate that we have to take this route. But guys, this is how the Muslims look at us. This is what they think about us. They can't defend the filth, the absolute filth that's in their books. But guess where they go? They go straight to insults. See, I don't need to insult him. All I have to do is repeat what Islam has given me. So I don't need to insult him. All I have to say is, Muhammad got zutted. Aisha was, giving her milkshake to all the Sahaba. I mean, her milkshake was the best in the yard. So, I can just repeat this. He married a 6-year-old, penetrated a child at 9. I'm not making this up. Jibreel and I didn't sit down and rewrite this. No, we just repeating. Like, for example, Muhammad was covered in semen. His little child bride used to sit there and scrape off the semen from his clothes. I didn't say that. Your Sahaba gave this to me. Whose semen was he covered in? Why was this guy covered in semen? Again and again and again. All we do is just repeat what your scholars have given us. He used to go and pray to his God covered in juice, man's juice. Whose juice was Muhammad covered in? Attack me all you want. You can call me any name in the world. The biggest insult to me would if you ever called me a Muslim. That's an insult.
James, did you know that this guy was only reflecting what Muhammad did 1400 years ago? Because if you go to Sahih Muslim, 2600, 2600. He did exactly what this guy did in that hadith. And Aisha said to him, why did you swear at them? Why did you swear at these guys? You know, they didn't do nothing. You know, and you swore at them. It's hadith Sahih Muslim. Whoever wants to go and read it, it's Sahih Muslim, hadith number 2600.
Let me read it for you.
2600.
So it says, now let me start all the way from the top. It says, Book of Virtue, enjoying good manners and joining the ties of kinship. The chapter, whomever is cursed, reviled or prayed against by the Prophet when he does not deserve it, that it will be purification, reward, and mercy for him. It says, Aisha reported that two persons visited Muhammad, not in the Zut way. I hope they just went to talk. And both of them talked about a thing of which I am not aware, but that annoyed him, and he invoked curse upon both of them and hurled malediction. And when they went out, I said, now notice who cursed who. Muhammad curses. Right? This is because he believes in witchcraft. So he curses these people. Allah's messenger, the good would reach everybody, but it will not reach those two. He said, why so? I said, because you have invoked curse and hurled malediction upon both of them. He said, don't you know that I have made condition with my Lord, saying thus, O Allah, I am human being, and for that a Muslim upon whom I invoke a curse or hurl malediction, make it a source of purity and reward. So when this Abdul was hurling his curses at me, I'm sure it was, a source of purity and reward.
Yeah. Yep. And did you notice? And he's cursing Muslims who don't deserve it.
That's
do
right.
Not deserve it. That means they've done nothing to him. They just come to him, say, Salamu alaykum ya Rasulallah, and he start cursing at them for no reason whatsoever.
So, as I said before, guys, when they throw these curses and insults on us, it means so little. Nada. It just shows us the quality of their fruit. And, as I said, whenever a Muslim insults you, there's no need to go, attack him. Mention his prophet. The Quran says, be careful how you treat these people. You be nasty to them, you curse them and you insult them. They're going to insult who? Allah, his book and his prophet. Islam.
Yep.
So we're just going to repeat what they said. We're just repeating what they say. We were told this is what happens. You insult, I'll just repeat.
And that's in the Quran. It's a Quran verse.
Yes, 108. Don't hurl your insults and don't hurl your this and your that, because these people, they're smarter than you, man. They're not going to attack you as a person. They're going to look at me and go, listen, man, your God has two right hands while balancing with one foot in hellfire. So when he claps like a seal with one, like a deformed seal. These two right hands. See, I'm not insulting you. I'm just repeating what the Quran says. Because the Quran says, do not revile those who invoke others apart from Allah, lest they begin to revile God out of malice and ignorance. We have made attractive their deeds to every people. They have gone back to their Lord, and he will tell them what they used to do. So, you come in and insult me, your two right-handed God is going to be scrutinized. Your prophet, the PDF that got zooted, is under scrutiny. I will take you there. Yes, I will. I will sing the song. Her milkshake brought all the boys to the yard, and they like, it's better than yours. And they like, it's better than yours. This is a song inspired by Aisha.
Oh my God.
Her milkshake brought all the Sahaba to the yard. So be careful, guys. If you're going to come up and insult, just be sure that we will give you back some of it. You're not going to, that's not the focus of the live. The live is for educational purposes, but I'm going to school every single one of you guys. All of you that think you have the answers, come up, request, and we can talk about it. Because right now, where are you going to? You are going to school. All of you, taking you to school. Now, getting back to the topic, let's just, change this so we can have the topic back up there. Today will be the last day of this topic, I think, because, We've given you guys all sorts. This is called Islamic all sorts. For those that are South African, you guys will know this picture, beacon. Let me cover that word so it doesn't take away. All sorts licorice. So we give you guys all sorts. We pick and choose. We'll pick anything from this Quran. I'll ask you a question. You guys can, try to make it make sense. All we're going to do is take you to Islamic all sorts. And Islamic all sorts teaches us that you guys know little, if not nothing, about your religion. And then I want to just show this picture one more time for those that haven't seen it. This picture over here shows you how the devil tempted Eve by saying, God is lying, eat this fruit and you will never die. But the Quran says the same thing to them. The Quran says, take this Quran, and if you follow this Quran, you'll never go to hell. So Satan will always lead you astray, trying to invoke or trying to prove that you can be one or equal to God.
That's a nice picture. I've never seen this one before.
Let me remove the guys. Unfortunately, I'm just going to remove the comments so you guys can see the beauty of it without comments.
Beautiful.
You see that? The old serpent,
yeah.
man, he never changed. He's doing exactly what he always does. The Bible is
Sorry.
lying. Take Al-Quran and you will never go to hell. So that's what the serpent says. The serpent is using old tricks to try to trick you into becoming a Muslim. And because he's tricking you into becoming a Muslim, he's taking you away from God, not towards God. Big difference, guys. Big difference. That's why we will never fall for the lies of Islam. And put the settings back on. There we go. Sorry about that. I know you guys love to engage. So if there's any Muslim that still wants to come up and make it make sense, you're more than welcome. Any Muslim. Jabril, give me a topic. Give me a new topic, man. Let me find something else to talk about. Not today, for tomorrow maybe, or the day after. I need a new topic so we can... I have been working, because Rob Christian did a live yesterday or the day before talking about Allah praying. I actually did that for not so long ago. So I'm just trying to find a new topic. I've got many up my sleeve, but a lot of them demand that we talk to intelligent Muslims. I'm not even joking. A lot of the topics I have, guys, is for intelligent Muslims.
You got 114 chapters in the Quran, man. You can pick any one of them. Honestly, any one of them, it'll make a topic. Yeah.
Yes, you just request, Holly. I can't bring you up. I'm not sure if you got a private thing. So as I said, I have different topics. I was going to do like the crazy teachings of Islam and show you some of the nonsense that's in there. Because, the blunders, the black stone, I was going to, try to find out more about these things. Well, in fact, one of the topics, did you guys know that Muslims don't actually know how Muhammad died? A lot of Muslims have no idea how or what happened to him for him to be passed away. One of my favorite verses is actually a verse in the Quran that Muslims use, but it goes against Islam. And that is Surah 381. Did you know, Jibril, who 381 is talking about? Let me read that to you. A lot of people make this mistake. A lot of people. 381, guys. Listen to this verse. And check this out. So the verse says, and when Allah made his covenant with the prophets, he said, behold that which I have given you of the scripture and knowledge. And afterward, there will come unto you a messenger, confirming that which you possess. You shall believe in him and you shall help him. He said, do you agree? And will you take my burden, which I lay upon you in this matter? They will answer, agree. He said, then bear witness that I am with you among the witnesses. According to this verse,
doesn't sound like he's talking about Muhammad.
Now, do you know why? Because this verse is talking to the prophets and saying to these prophets that they must help and support him. Who was the only one alive that had a prophet to help and support him?
Only one Lord.
Jesus had John the
Only one Lord.
Baptist. Muhammad had no prophets or messengers that were able to help him and support him. So Muslims say 381 is talking about Muhammad and the covenant that Allah made and that Muhammad will be helped. But there is no prophet or messenger around Muhammad at his time that supported him. So 381 in the Quran that's supposed to be supporting Muhammad is not talking about Muhammad. In fact, if you go to the tafsirs and the understandings of this verse, I'll just read the first one that comes up. Allah then explained his covenant with the Prophet on the day, and yes, indeed, regarding Muhammad's traits and descriptions, saying we've made a covenant with the prophets. And Allah made a covenant with the prophets that they will show to one another the traits, descriptions, and merit of Muhammad. So again, they think it's talking about Muhammad, but there was no one around at the time of Muhammad for him to have support. Harley Quinn, how are you?
Hello, I'm okay, thank you. Bit of a headache, not feeling the greatest today, but I just wanted to come up and show you something. I don't know whether you've already seen it, but I thought, you know what, even if James may have seen it, there's people in the audience that may not have. So I'm just hoping, bear with me, let me turn my camera on. There we go. So the first one, with regards to 434. Now, if you look at a lot of people are saying no, striking isn't what it means. But would I be right in saying that, like Yusuf Ali, Pickthall, Shakir, they're all different? It's been said that they're different recitations. Is that right?
All different translations. So I've got them all in front of me right now. Every one of those is in front of me, and you're right. They're all different translations of the verse.
So now these are all the translations for 434. For Yusuf Ali, beat them lightly. For Pickthall, scourge them. Now, for being British, that didn't make sense because obviously I have a different understanding of what scourge is. But if you look up the meaning of the word scourge, a whip used as an instrument or punishment. Now, you've also got, what's the other ones? You've also got Pickthall that says, you've also got Shakir, beat them, Ahmed Ali. Where's that one? Sorry, my cat's trying to get in on the conversation.
No, it's just Yusuf Ali.
If they're willing to they believe them alone, willing if they're coming. So yeah, basically all of the other translations, they're saying beat them. It's not what they're saying. It's more than a tap with a toothbrush, which is what they would say. The other thing that I wanted to show you, now a lot of people, or one of the explanations that I've heard is that, it's cultural. But if from this article that I wanted to show you, if that's okay. Now, a man who married a 15-year-old girl in an Islamic wedding ceremony, so this isn't cultural, in ceremony is among 8 men to have been found guilty of sexual offences against her. So bear with me. And this is in the UK. This is in Bradford. This girl was in a children's home. She was in a children's home, and what makes it, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's bad enough as it is, but if you read down, where's the verse I'm looking for? There we go. So the BBC understands the victim's former social worker, Anwar Mia. So this girl was married in an Islamic wedding ceremony with permission. She was 15 years old. She was married with permission from her social worker. I say permission. What she says, she's obviously wasn't consenting, but yeah. So that makes it even worse. So it's not a cultural thing, because this, according to the UK, this should not have happened. You don't get married in an Islamic wedding ceremony if it's a cultural thing, if that makes sense. So yeah. I just wanted to sort of add that in, and I don't know whether you was already sort of aware of this, but I thought, you know what, considering you've got 51 people in the audience, perhaps there's somebody there that didn't know.
This happened here in Australia as well.
Yeah.
And the police interrupted the wedding and they arrested him. He was 26 and she was 12. And the person that reported it, actually, it was a lady that was invited to the wedding. When she came in and she saw him, he was 26 and she was 12. She went outside and she rang the police. They turned up in 2 minutes and they arrested them. And they
Let me
arrested
just add to this. The problem is, right, we all know that it's not a cultural thing. It's nothing to do with us being from Africa or because it's, like the circumcision, we know that that's a Islamic thing because it's in the hadiths that it was happening and it's an Islamic thing to do. Now, again, when it comes to child marriage and the penetration, the UK, when you go to Bradford, Birmingham, or even Leeds, and you see what's going on there, and even in other parts of Europe, where they're sending the kids back to their, respective countries, whether it's Somalia, whether it's whatever, Iran, Iraq, these children think that they're actually going on holiday. And when they get there, it's they all of a sudden you married or you're getting clipped or snipped. So again, this is nothing to do with the cultures, right? Nothing to do with the culture. It's to do with the fact that this is an Islamic thing and it's allowed. And this is why, for example, the Taliban are saying in Afghanistan that you can marry at 9 because Muhammad. Same thing with Iraq because of Muhammad. Same thing in Yemen because of Muhammad. So it all comes back to the fact that they're using this book in all these countries as their main source. That's why Mufasa is asking me to show that it's morally wrong to strike a woman, because he's saying that there's different categories between eating pork and striking your wife. But the effects are supposed to be the same, because if eating pork causes you to have cancer, and that's bad for you, but striking your wife, according to Islam, is supposed to be good for you, yet we can see the effects it has on the woman's mental health after that. And then you can see how it affects the children. I've seen, I'm blessed that my dad never lifted his hand to my mum's, because it wouldn't have ended well for him. But my point is that affects the children. And then it affects the next generation. This is why the only way to control the generation and intelligence, like the Taliban are doing, saying that you can't control them if they're well educated and if they're wealthy. You have to subjugate them and control them. And this is a type of punishment that you will enforce on them to control them. Now we know this is a fact because the sheikh the sheikh, I forget his name, the guy that's always on TV doing all the telling you how to behave as a Muslim, the one that sits behind his desk. He actually I've got on my page, my main account, he actually came up and said on a live that an educated woman doesn't need a man. A rich woman doesn't need a man, because they will see that and they'll know the truth. So don't let them know the truth. Dumb them down to the point that you can control them, because someone that's not smart is always going to be controlled. Well, when I say not smart, I mean unschooled. You may be smart at some things, but unschooled. But again, this is how you control these people. And by controlling them, and even this is in our countries as well, they stop you from lifting your head up because they want to control everyone and everything so that you don't ask questions. Now, the Muslim women that are asking the questions, now the man is fearing disobedience. So he can now subjugate them, strike them, and keep them in their place just to hold them down there. But Aisha, she was fantastic when she brought up and said the women used to support each other. So it shows that the women themselves knew that this wasn't a good thing. This was a bad thing. This is why she said, it's funny how these believing women are treated the worst of all women. Now, that's a big statement. That's large, because she says, what did she say? I had it in front of me. Where did it go?
Is that the verse where she spots a woman with bruises on her, James?
Yeah, that's the green, with the green.
Yeah.
So in this verse, right? In this verse, she says something so brilliant that Muhammadans, the Muslims, it says, she says her skin is greener than her clothes. She says, I just thought, where did it go?
I have never seen a believing woman.
I've not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. So now remember, Aisha, she's out there. I mean, she's living amongst people from different cultures. She's got the Jews, the Muslims, she's got the atheists, she's got the pagans, she's got all these people around her. And yet she makes this bold statement saying, I have not seen any woman suffering more than the believing woman. Remember,
That means
Aisha
a
was
Muslim
called
woman.
a Muslim woman, yeah.
Yeah.
So Aisha as well, remember, she was, told that she is equal to a dog and a donkey. She was told that she's deficient in intelligence and in religion. So she's told all these things, right? How in the world is that uplifting? It's more like destroying than uplifting. So she's saying, man, you guys are treating us the worse than any of these women, because they seem to be happier than us believing women, because again, it was only the Muslim men that were satisfied, not the women. So in 434, this isn't to control or to uplift, or no, sorry, not to uplift, it's to destroy. You're destroying these women, you're keeping them subjugated only to control them. And this is why, because an educated woman will ask questions or show you that she knows more than you, and that would be insulting to the husband or the man in the house. Because he's
James,
supposed to be the leader.
just on the 434, the beginning of the verse, when you read the translation of the verse, it starts with, in Arabic, الرجال قوامون على النساء. When you read the translations, most of them, they say men are protectors of women. Okay? That's what it says. And that is wrong. It's a wrong translation. They don't want to say the real translation because it's embarrassing. The meaning of الرجال قوامون على النساء, the word قوامون, it means superior. So the verse starts with saying men are superior to women. That's what it starts. And then it goes into وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ وَاضْرُبُوهُنَّ, beat them up. But it starts with men are superior over women.
So even
So
so,
that's-
so you said the word is qawamuna.
قوامون, yeah.
Qawamuna. So in the translated verse I have in front of me, it says are protectors.
It's not protectors.
No, this yeah, exactly, right? So it
Yeah.
says caretakers, protectors, but it's
Yes.
not.
It's not. Most of the translation, I think you will find one translation, from my memory I'm talking, I think you might find one out of the 17 different translations that actually says superior, if there is one. But the real word is superior.
Yeah, so if I go, because I have the word by word, the root, and again, that's also wrong because we know that's another lie. I'll show you guys. Let me just see. It says, yeah, managers, protectors are in charge of, protectors or maintainers. But and there is one that does say superior.
In charge of, it falls into the same meaning as superior. In charge of, that is the closest. But the real one, the real word is superior.
It's crazy how they've got to twist and turn this entire religion over and over just to make it make sense to them, just to try to butter it up, to soften the blow. So when we read these books, we'll think, oh man, he means, it's just a protector. Oh no, it's superior.
No, and the proof of the meaning of this word is when you read further in the verse, it says obedience. So who do you offer the obedience to? Your superior?
Yeah.
You see, so obedience and superior, then the meaning is sort of completed, because when you read later on in the verse, it says وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ نُشُوزَهُنَّ. The word نُشُوزَهُنَّ, again, it means obedience. If you fear disobedient, so when they're not obeying, they are becoming disobedient because he is her superior.
That's right. Let me just, guys, I want to just talk to someone in the chat called Rehan. Rehan says, Numbers 31, 17 and 18, Christianity is a PDF religion. Rehan said, 1 Samuel 15:3, Christianity is a genocidal religion. Now, that's on YouTube, right? That's on YouTube. Now, I love the fact that Rehan isn't able to defend the topic. She went to Numbers 31. What I want to do again, as always, I want to read Numbers 31 for you guys, and then I'm going to show Rehan the explanation so that Rehan, when she leaves here, is able to step away with a little bit of understanding. Because Rehan, the only reason you went to whataboutism is because Islam is embarrassing, your Quran embarrassing, your Allah embarrassing, Muhammad embarrassing, and his entire marriage to his child bride embarrassing. So let's read Numbers 31. Rehan, I hope you're listening to this. Now, unalive all the boys and unalive every woman who has slept with a man, but save for yourselves every girl who has not slept with a man. That's what the verse says. Does it say anything about penetrating children? No, Rehan, it doesn't say that. In fact, do you want to know what happens according to the Bible when it comes to, for example, Numbers 31, when it teaches you about Numbers 31, right? Because you are trying to say that this is saying that the virgins were great because you're Muslim, and that's what Muhammad did. You are trying to say this is what happens in Christianity. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read to you how you are supposed to treat the people that you enslave according to the Bible, right? According to the Bible, it says, this is in Deuteronomy 21, 10 to 14. It breaks it down for you, Rehan. Listen and learn. It says, when you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God gives them into your hand, and you take them captive, and you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you desire to take her to be your wife. Now notice there's two things that just happened. Not a child, because a child is not a woman. And no one looks at a child as something beautiful unless you have depraved, sick intentions, right? So, continuing in that verse, it says, and you desire to take her to be your wife. In other words, because the Bible teaches that you shouldn't be committing adultery like your Quran teaches you're allowed to do in Surah 4:24, this is teaching us that you need to take the woman and you shall marry her before penetrating her. Before sleeping with her, you shall marry her. And then it says, and you bring her into your house. So you're not leaving her outside. You don't have a separate quarters for her. She's not amongst all your concubines. No, she's going to become your wife. She shall shave her head and pare her nails, meaning she's going to start fresh, new. And she shall take off her clothes in which she was captured, and shall remain in your house and lament her mother and father a full month. Meaning again, that she will have time to grieve. According to 4:24, the husbands of these women were still alive when these women were raped by Muhammad and his Sahaba. So again, we can see who is more disgusting and evil, because it's definitely not the Bible. It continues. It says, let her lament her father and mother for a full month. Then it goes on and says, after that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. So this isn't an extramarital affair. This isn't a side chick or a right-hand possessed like Islam teaches. It's not evil and disgusting like Islam. This is saying, marry the woman, bring her home, and make her your wife. Then it continues. It says, but if you no longer delight in her, you shall let her go where she wants. But you shall not sell her for money, nor shall you treat her as a slave, since you have humiliated her. Again, getting hit again, guys. Keep tapping, I'm getting hit again. So according to this verse, is teaching us that you shall not humiliate her, you shall love her, you shall protect her, you shall make her your wife, and all this before you go into her. 4:24 teaches us that you can go into her solely because she is your right-hand possess. And even though she has a husband, you can still sleep with her. And according to most common sense people, that would be adultery. So notice what happened. I took the verse that you gave me. I've explained it to you. I pray that you have finally understood the verse and that you now know the truth about what the Bible is teaching, and you don't repeat it, because by repeating it, you're showing us how ignorant you truly are. right? So there's no need for you to run back and forth to try to find verses just to make it make sense, just so you can have something to attack us with. Understand the context of what is being said. Understand the verse. But getting back now to the Quran and the topic I have, your Muslims that came up, the Muslims that came up said clearly, the only one that's haram is eating pork. That's what the Muslims said.
I just had ever so quickly there, James, with regards to child marriage. I mean, you have to look at, I mean, I will be honest, I can't recall the name of the country at the moment, but there was a country that their age of marriage is 9 years old, and
Iraq.
they voted. They for 24 hours, I believe. Oh, it was Iraq. They changed it for 24
No, sorry, that was
hours
Somalia.
before.
No,
Somalia.
it was Iraq. No, it was Iraq.
No. Somalia also tried to change the age, but the men got upset. This is a couple of years ago, not even 6 months
Yeah.
ago. The men got upset and they changed it back because the elders got
So
upset.
there's
about it.
more than one country that did that?
Yes.
There's more than one country that tried to change it into an old like a later age of consent, and then
Yes.
Islamic
Even
leaders
Saudi
got
Arabia
involved.
goes
And
against the Quran.
so how can that be cultural? How is that the culture's telling you stop? No, how is that cultural?
Yeah.
Wow,
Why?
I didn't know that. I thought it was just the one.
Nope.
Can I just add something as far as Iraq? When they brought this law, they debated it in Parliament and then they passed it. You know what their excuse was? You wouldn't believe this, man. Listen to this. Their excuse was, it's happening so much, we might as well legalize it. That was their excuse.
Well,
It's
Malik said
happening
it's better
so
to
much
marry
in the
young.
community.
Malik said that as well.
Yeah, they said it's happening in the community so much, we might as well legalize it. That was their excuse.
Yeah, but there's many countries, and if it's not by law, then they're going against the law by marrying these children because they know that it's Islamic. And if Muhammad did it, it can't be wrong. So that's as simple as it gets. But let me talk to my man Ply or Lady Ply. Ply, are you there? I can just see Ply. Plyo, Plio. Now imagine, guys, remember, if you vote and you bring in these people into your systems, into your countries, like the UK has the health minister that looks like ET on wheels, you notice that these people are going to keep dragging you down instead of picking you up. Ply, how are you, sir? Piloco?
Yes. Sorry, brother, it's a mistake.
No worries, my man. You take care. You God bless.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
I was just about to say that's all I wanted. That's sort of my 2 pence worth on the topic. So, but thank you for listening, and I'll drop down and let you carry on with the topic with others.
No worries. You take care, sis. God bless.
Right. You too. Thank you, James. Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao. Alrighty, so I've got a couple of minutes left just to, I can't go on too long today. Today was a bit of a busy day with meetings and stuff. Tomorrow I should be back at normal time, so that's good. I will hopefully have a new topic. We could even do the Quran verse Surah 381 and ask Muslims who's it talking about, because as I said before, guys, Muslims don't read the Quran with the intention of learning. They're reading it to confirm what some other Ahmed told them, so they read it with those glasses on. So striving on the way of the Salaf says, host brings the same recycled arguments, low tier. Notice that I change my topic all the time, every 3 days, but striving on the way of the Salaf, let's see if he wants to just make it make sense. So stop me, I sent you an invite, come up and just make it make sense. Show everybody that you can just, put this to bed and we're done. The topic is a simple one. Should be easy for you since you seem to be most educated in this room. Can you come up striving on the way of the Salaf and make it make sense? Because so far, all the Muslims are agreeing that 434, 424, and 65:4 of the Quran is saying that that's allowed, but don't eat pork. It's better to strike your wife, commit adultery, or penetrate a child. Would you like to just play the game? I sent you an invite. I am low tier. I'm such a low tier that the Muslims are struggling to answer my questions. So I'm not even on the tier list. I'm not even on the tier list. For those that haven't seen, I have a nice video on my main page with me, where Maliki info. In fact, let me say this. You guys can tell Malik this. You know, there's a hadith where the men used to drip man juice from their willy winkies when they used to do the Hajj. They used to literally drip. I'm not joking. I'll find it for you. You think I'm joking, don't you? They used to have semen dripping from their willies. Watch this. We began, this is Sahih Sunan Abi Majah, Sunan Ibn Majah 2980. Sunan Ibn Majah 2980. Check this out. We began our talba, whatever, for Hajj, only with Allah's Messenger, and we did not mix it with Umrah. We arrived in Mecca when the nights of blah, blah, blah were and passed, and when we performed Hajj, tawaf around the Kaaba, and say between Saf and Marwa, the Messenger of Allah commanded us to make it Umrah, and to come out of the Ihram and have relations with our wives. So they commanded to have relations with our wives. And then we said, there are only 5 days until the Arafah. Will we go out to it with our male organs dripping with semen? The Messenger of Allah said, I am the most righteous and truthful among you. And were not for the sacrificial animal, I would not have exited Ihram or whatever. But anyway, my point is that these guys were leaking. They were leaking from their willy winkies. But Malik leaks more than them. Leaking info, he leaks all the information by doxing people and sending out their personals. So I'm not sure who leaks more.
They had no plumbers, man.
Oh, that's true. So I'm not sure who leaks more, the Sahaba, when they were walking around dripping from their willy winkies, or this Muppet, Malik's, because Malik he's just leaking information left, right, and center. So I'm not sure, guys, who's the one that leaks more, Maliki or the Sahaba.
James, Surah Al-Baqarah, you know, chapter 2, Al-Baqarah, the first verse. Can you have a look and in the translation in English and read what it says, the first verse?
You mean the tafsir?
No, just the verse itself.
Alif Lam Mim.
No, the second one after Alif Lam Mim.
Okay. 1 second. Let me just see this. Someone said go to 62:2. Okay, so 2 you want. So 2 Baqarah 2.
Yeah.
Okay, it says, this is the book. Okay, beautiful.
Okay.
This
next
is the
one.
book about which there's no doubt, guidance and conscience of Allah.
Next translator. What's the saying? Is it this or that, the next translator?
It's that
and
book,
the next one?
not this book.
And the next one?
What do you mean next one?
The next translator?
Oh, I got it. So Muhammad, it says, this is the book, that is the book, this is the book, this is the book, this is the scripture, this is the book, this is the book.
Okay.
So
now,
all of those guys are wrong. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. In the Arabic, it's ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. ذَلِكَ, it's that. Okay? It is a letter that points to something that is further in time and distance. So if you say that house, you are pointing to a house that is further away. If you say this house, you're pointing to a house that you're standing in front of. Correct?
That's right.
Okay. Now, when you read the verse and it says that book, in Arabic it says ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ, that means he's pointing to a book that is further from when Muhammad was in his time and place.
That's right.
So when you say what book is he talking about, it can't be the Quran. And that's why in the translation they changed it to this. In the translation they changed it to this, because when you read it as this book, then you can explain it and give it a legitimate excuse that you are talking about the Quran, because it says this book. So you got it in your hand and you're saying this book. So it could be the Quran. But in the Arabic, it says ذَلِكَ, which is that book. And even when you read the tafsir, all of them all of them, all the, Tabari, Qurtubi, Sa'di, Baghawi, they all say that means this. Now, in which language that means this? Can you tell me? Is there a language that
All
the
nonsense,
word
man.
that means this? It can be. It's either that or this. That can never mean this, and this can never mean that. But even in the tafsir, they tried to sort of patch it up. So they didn't have any other excuse. They didn't know what to say. So they came up with, oh, that means this.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
I've got some
Yeah.
good news. My main account it's come back, so it's not gone on holiday.
Oh, thank
So I can
God.
use my main account again tomorrow. But again, I've got to be
God.
careful because, as I said, unfortunately, that's what the Muslims are doing. They're trying to knock us by getting. But man, I keep saying this, guys. If my account disappears forever and ever, amen, it's okay. Jabril will start a live, Bob the Builder, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, the gang. Everybody will start a new live. It doesn't mean you're going to stop it. You guys cannot stop us. You guys cannot. I'm telling you now, there's no way you guys are going to stop us. It doesn't
Man,
no matter what you guys do.
Anytime you need an account, just let me know. I'll give you my accounts. You can have
And I've got
all of
5.
my accounts.
I've got 5. But I keep circling. Saint P, you got a topic for me, my man. God bless.
Yeah, so like as Christians, even Jews, we never believed all prophets were perfect examples. And Muhammad came and stole that role. And as Christians, like there's nothing we're ashamed to do that Jesus did or taught today that's in our scriptures. And they try to come at me when I bring this topic up and say, oh, he called a woman a dog, but Allah calls us worse than cockroaches. So everything they come against us with, like we can destroy them with. And it also points to how flawless Christ actually is.
That's true, that's
If
true.
that makes sense.
Absolutely.
James, in your opinion, which Sahaba, which companion was the closest to Muhammad?
I don't know, Abu Bakr?
Abu Bakr, exactly. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. When I read about it and I sort of looked deeper into it, I was shocked. Abu Bakr, the closest Sahaba to Muhammad, literally from the day he started until he died, he was with him. He narrated 142 hadith. Abi Huraira, he was with Muhammad for 3 years. He narrated 5,300 hadith. Anas ibn Malik, 5,000 plus. Aisha, 2,200 and something. Yet the closest Sahaba to him, Abu Bakr, only narrated 142 hadith. And listen to this, out of these 142, only 11 are in Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari. The rest are in different books. And out of these 11 that is in Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari, only 6 hadith they both agree on. How's these facts for numbers?
I know they're crazy. I know they're crazy.
Yeah,
Zara,
and he
saw
was
you
the
in the chat,
closest
Zara. I'm
person.
going to send you a message. It's soon. I've just been a bit busy. Today was another busy day, but I'll get back to you, Zara. Grace, need to send you a message. But yeah, man, this is the thing when it comes to Islam. We are able to look at Sahih Bukhari, for example, that given us, what did he have? Was it 700,000? No, what did he have?
7,100 and something hadith.
No, but but that's that was what was left.
Oh,
But
no,
he
600,000.
600,000, guys, if you don't know
Yes,
this.
600,000.
600,000.
Yes.
But
Originally,
this is the
he narrated.
craziness, man.
He composed or wrote 600,000 hadith, and then he started sort of segregating them and sort of picking and choosing, and only the Sahih, and he came up with 7,130, I think. Can imagine what the other hadiths were. What the hell was in the other ones?
Let me see. We've got Filtered. How are you, sir?
Hiya, I'm good, thank you.
Oh, it's a lady. Oh, that's good. Are you a Muslim?
No, someone sent me this live to come in. I'm not too sure why, but she sent me the live. I think it's to do with who wants to be Muslim. I'm off the top of my head. Quran 434 is the one that stands out to me. That's halal. That's the wrong one, basically. Like it's allowed, but I don't agree with it.
Are you Muslim?
No, I'm not Muslim.
Okay, let me tell you what each of them are.
Okay.
In fact, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to which one of these is haram in Islam. So watch this. According to Islam, according to Muslims, 434 is striking your wife.
Yeah,
They
I'm familiar
believe
with that one. Yeah.
Striking your wife is good. Eating pork is bad.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I agree that's in the book. Yeah, that's correct.
No, do you agree with that statement that 434 striking your wife is better than eating pork?
Absolutely not. I don't agree with it at all.
424 teaches that you can own slaves and you can commit adultery. But Muslims say that owning slaves and committing adultery is better than eating pork. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree. It's in the book, but I don't agree with it.
Beautiful. 65.4 is you can marry and penetrate prepubescent girls. Muslims say that that's good, but eating pork is bad. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't. It's in the book. Yes, I agree. It's in the book. I don't agree with it being
So
good.
do you realize that according to Islam, eating pork is worse than striking your wife? It's worse than committing adultery and having slaves, and it's worse than penetrating children.
Yeah, I agree. That's
Would-
in the book. Yeah.
So would you recommend Islam to anyone, knowing that these three verses are allowed, but you're not allowed to eat pork?
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't recommend any of the Abrahamic religions to anybody.
Okay, but now we're talking about this topic. We can get to the others another time. But
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, if this was actually true, then you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with it. There's a bit of an echo. I don't know if that's me. Is there an echo from me, or am I good?
You're fine with me. I don't hear an echo.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it either.
Okay. So when we have these topics, don't you think that this is informative? Teaching people about what Islam truly teaches?
I think so too. And that's why I'm not against, the religious kind of, I don't want to call it necessarily a debate, but discussion. I think we should have religious discussions on everything, like whether that's Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, all of it, like just question everything. Discussions are great. Like, I'm so glad you're doing this. This is really good.
What I normally do is I would say, well, for example, if you said about the Abrahamic religions, I would say to a Muslim, well, okay, let's just, using the topic, because I'm very topic based, if we were using this topic, would you be able to show me that the Bible shows you anywhere that you're allowed to strike your wife? And they are forced to say no, because nowhere does it say to strike your wife. Nowhere does it say that you can commit adultery or grape your right hand possess. Nowhere does it say that you can marry and penetrate children. Nowhere.
I agree with you. I do think obviously the Bible has some, questionable things, but from what I've read in the book, it never says you're allowed to penetrate a child. I don't know. Can I say that online? You're not allowed to do that. So yeah, I agree with you. The Bible has some questionable things in there, just like the Torah, just like the Bhagavad Gita. It's just about what people choose to ignore and accept and what works for you. So if I'm assuming you're Christian or Jewish.
I am a Christian, and I have a recommendation for you, if you allow me. There's a book called How Not to Read the Bible.
How not to, did you say?
How Not to Read the Bible. So what the things that you're alluding to would probably be found in the Old Testament. And what this book does is it gives you the context of these verses and how the people back then understood it, as opposed to how you would want to understand it. For example, when it talks about, for example, the Muslims will say that the Bible teaches about dashing children on rocks. Right?
Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'll go mute. I'm literally having a coughing fit. Go on. I am listening.
No, that's good. But again, in context, this is again a vision. When it talks about unaliving, for example, all the animals and stuff, if you look at the bigger picture, it's talking about how to eradicate and take away the evil that these people are passing down from one generation to the next. Now, in context, it's talking about a specific people at a specific time for a specific reason. Now, we may not agree with the reasoning again when it comes to that, But this compared to Islam, when Islam is teaching to unalive everyone that doesn't believe, anyone that is not a Muslim should be unalive, because the Quran teaches that Islam is there for until the last day, and the only thing
Yeah.
that you can do is to follow Islam until the last day.
Yeah, I agree. It does say that. From what I've read, I haven't finished the Quran. I'm reading it alongside the Bhagavad Gita. But I agree that there's parts of both the Old Testament and New Testament that were for specific people. That still doesn't negate the fact that it is in there. But like I said, I think it's good to discuss all religions, everything, just have discussions. Some people will disagree with Christianity, some people agree. I just think as long as you're, you try to be a good person, then it doesn't matter what religion you are, go figure, it's fine. If you want to worship the fridge, then worship the fridge, I don't care, just as
But
long as
again,
you're not.
to understand when something is good,
Mhm.
it needs to come from someone that's the lawgiver. Who's the moral giver? Who's the one that tells us what's good? I mean, if you don't believe in a God, then you can't be subjective. You can't say to me, well, unaliving a baby is bad if you don't believe that it's,
Well,
where
yeah,
it's-
so me personally, I don't think I need a book to tell me what's kind of right and wrong, and most things are subjective anyway. We create morals. Just because I don't have like let's say a God or the Abrahamic God that's saying, hey, don't do this, don't do that, doesn't mean that I can't say whether I feel like something's right or wrong. Whether that's true or not is great, but I can still, have an opinion towards certain things. And like I said, as long as whoever, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever, aren't being horrible and treating people like shit, then, sorry for language, then it's fine. Be whatever religion you want. Who cares? Like, who cares?
Let me get back to the Abu. I hope he comes back.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to drop if I don't qualify, because I'm not Muslim technically. So
No, that's fine. My prayers are always going to be with you, whether you believe or not. Just remember that it's coming from a good place, and I'm just hoping for the best for you. And
Yeah,
the best
cool.
for me to give you, the best present, is this guy called Jesus Christ. You just try to look at, don't follow Christians. See what Jesus is, who he is, what he teaches, and see if that aligns with what you believe. Because again, if you are taking, don't take from a Christian, take from
Mhm.
Christ.
Well, I think it's that's difficult, because obviously from Christ would be from the book, right? And so there's obviously a lot of discrepancies there. But even still, I think that some things, just for me personally, I used to be a Christian for 20 years. Some will say I was never really a Christian. It's fine, whatever. But I used to believe in Jesus, let's just say that. And some of the things just didn't align with myself, and that's okay. Not everything will. And so I'm just going to live in the way that aligns with what I
I
think
got
is.
you, but notice
You know what
that
I'm saying?
the things that don't align with you, it's not that the thing is that you are wanting the Bible or is Christianity to align with you instead of you aligning with that, because, for example, you would rather do certain things without being questioned or judged upon. And if the Bible didn't, for example, I'm just going to use, not saying you, I'm just using an example, being promiscuous. If the Bible said be promiscuous, you'd be like, oh, cool, I'm in for this. Because again, the Bible is telling us to walk away from our flesh and the desires of the flesh. A lot of people that walk away from religion,
But there's certain things,
alcohol,
I
drugs,
know
whatever.
not that, but I know that not specifically, but there's some things that genuinely, like in the book, I just don't want to do anyway. Like, I just don't want to do it. And that's not everyone like that, but there's people like me that are like, I'm not even interested in doing the stuff that the Bible tells you not to do anyway. So it's like, it doesn't, like, the Bible doesn't serve me. Jesus doesn't do anything for me that I can't do by myself. Some will say yes, some will say no.
Do you believe in
It's
salvation?
fine.
Do you believe in life after death? Do you believe in salvation? Do you believe that this is just a temporary stop, or what do you believe?
I think this life isn't eternal. I don't know what happens if there is an afterlife, what happens before and after. That's it. I don't know.
And if, let's just say, if there was something like an
Mhm.
afterlife, wouldn't you want to go and research it to see if wouldn't you like to find out what people have been saying? And I mean, I understand you're a
Yeah.
Christian, but again, it's like having the best friend in the world, right? Let's just say Jesus is there. He tells you, listen, you got a problem, talk to me. If you got this, you got that, blah, blah, blah. And you like, nah, man, I got you. I'm better by myself. Right? You turn your back on him. And then it's like turning your back on something that's, I don't know, it's like the best thing. Because I understand what you're saying, but it's just difficult to know that if you want to know about afterlife, or whether there's, whether who created me, what's the reason for me being here? Is there more to life than me just, drinking, partying, doing the dingy stuff? Is there more to life? And I think, and everyone has been where you are at some point, where it's like, you come on, But eventually, when you stop and you actually take away all the thrills and the frills and all the stuff around you, and you're sitting by yourself, and you ask yourself, well, is there something more than just me? Am I the top, or is there something above me?
For sure.
I keep saying,
Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I was going to say, I say on my live often, if you are number one, if you are in the front, that means everybody else is behind you, right? If you putting yourself as number one. But if there's someone greater or better than you, then you'd want them to be in front of you, right? You'd want to be like that person. You'd want to walk towards that person. And for me, it's Christ. So for me, in my mind, I see Christ. I don't look at Christians. I don't look at some priest and some pastor, the Pope. I don't look at them as the best example. I try to see how Jesus behaved, what he said, whether I think it's the best way for me to live and to bring my family up, and to see how people, behave when it comes to being a true Christian, or, And again, I'm saying I put Christ in front of me, meaning that I'm not first, because if I'm first, that means Jesus Christ is behind me and I'm walking away from him.
So, when you said, oh, you think it's the best way for you and like to bring up your children, etc. And I agree, if that's how you feel and you feel that works for you and that helps you navigate yourself through this world, then absolutely go and do that. I will never say not to. But are you aware that not everybody feels that way? So some people will say, hey, like I prefer, sorry, oh my gosh. Some people will say, I prefer, like, for example, something stupid, worshipping cheese. Cheese works for me, like this is how it works. I'm going to raise my family worshipping cheese and we're good to go. Do you know what I mean? And they're just good people. And like all of that stuff. So it's almost like, I think someone explained it to me like, oh, Jesus is like medicine. And if you had good medicine to fix a sick person, would you not want to share that? And I'm like, yeah, of course. But not everything works for everybody. So there's loads of things like the pill that girls go on. Not one pill will work for everybody. So you need to try what works for you. And I'm open to hearing information. Sorry, was that me? Oh, yeah. I'm open to hearing information and stuff like that. And then I just see what aligns with me. So you've said, okay, Christianity aligns with you, Islam doesn't. Cool. Somebody else may say the opposite. That's fine. Like, what's wrong with everyone kind of doing their own thing? What's the problem?
Well, let me give you an example, right? If there's 10 roads, but only one road leads to the beach. You want to go to the beach, there's 10 roads. And I'm saying to you, and I'll give you an example, I say to you, listen, this is the road to the beach because I've actually been on this road back and forth. And you say to me, nah, well, I'll try one of the other roads because they may get me there. Now I'm saying to you, listen, but this, I know that this road goes. Now you've got all these other roads, and I'll take, for example, whether it's Islam, whether it's, and you saying to me, but I'm sure this road must take you to the beach as well because it's right next to your road. And they look like they're going in the same direction. I would just say, and the reason I do these lives is, it's because if I know which road I want, I know which the road is, because that's what I've been learning and trying to find for myself. Just like if I saw someone drowning, I want to save them from drowning because I don't want them to perish. I don't want them to go, I want to save them and help them. I'm not saying it's up to me. I'm just saying I'm the only one way I can do things is to guide. Now, for example, it's like a recipe. If I make the best lasagna ever, and I'm a foodie, I love my food. If I know how to make this best lasagna, I would say, listen, sis, you got to try this recipe. Yeah. And you say to me, nah, I'm good. Some people like lasagna the way you make it, but I'm going to make it with no meat. I'm a veggie. Yeah. Now, we both know that meat is meat and vegetables is not meat. So when you're making this lasagna and you're calling it a lasagna, it's not the lasagna I'm showing you. I'm telling you, this is the best recipe because this is proven to be the best. But man, I don't want to go on this anyway. I pray for you and I hope that you one day, hopefully, find your way back to Christ. I mean, everyone's on their own journey, and we can just say to you and to anyone else that's listening, God bless.
Of course. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And thank you so much for having a really respectful conversation. I know, like, you know, when you see those lives and it gets like really hectic and stuff, and like the non-believers going for the believer and vice versa. But I really appreciate the conversation and hearing what you had to say. And I hope you have a blessed day as well. And everyone listening. Thank you so much. I'll drop.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank
Take care.
you.
For those that are not on the YouTube is the Agents 007. The Agents 007. Just a quick detour. I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention to the Dawa drama. Sheikh Ut ran, Sheikh Ut sprinted, ducked my man God Logic yesterday or day before. Can't remember now. That guy ran faster than Usain Bolt and further than Forrest Gump. That dude put his tail between his legs and ran, then made a video afterwards saying, you know, you ran, you could have, you ran. Guys, make it make sense. These people are calling out. Now, again, if you guys go to One Way Apologetics or even God Logic's page, you can see reference to this, where they are calling them out for, you know, yeah, Ut ran, he ran, Ut man, or Zut man, whatever you want to call him, ran like Forrest Gump away from this debate. Then he says you can come in, but no cameras. Then you can come in, but one question. Then you can come in, but. Guys, this dude thought that he was the be all and end all. He didn't think that we will step up and, you know, be there. And that's what Logic did. See, we're not afraid of these people. We will step in that ring with them and we will be like, okay, let's dance. You guys saw the other day, I was talking to the Muslim and he kept on running back to the Old Testament. No, to Paul. He kept on talking about Paul. And eventually I said, okay, let's dance. Let's talk about it. What did he say? Oh, I need to prepare. I need to get my books. I need to get my this and my that. They don't expect us to say, okay, let's dance. Uthman tried to dance. The dude only was able to dance behind the wall so no one could see him. So go back and watch. I saw my man Chris Rose is in the house. Go back to these lives, especially on YouTube, One Way Apologetics and GL, God Logic, and go and watch and check out how these guys ran after all these calls for debates and all these calls. I'll pay for your flight. I'll bring you over. IP, they ran from. God Logic, they ran from. David Wood, they ran from. They ran from anyone and everyone. They ran because why? These people were in a panic. They didn't expect them to rock up. So please support them and show love to those sites and those pages, guys. I'm glad you guys saw Muslims come up today, once again proving that they have zero problem. I mean, we had Mufasa that came on earlier, and he showed us that he had no problem with 434 striking the wife. He had no problem with 424 with adultery and owning slaves. He had no problem with sleeping with a prepubescent, but he did agree that eating pork would take you away from Islam because there was different, what did he call them? He called them different stages or different somethings. So again, this is what happens. These guys go into this little panics because they get cooked on every live that they go on. Then they have to call out and pretend. So now he's pretending that Logic ran. He is bringing up that Logic ran when Logic was literally knocking on his door. Say, I'm here. He's like, no, you can come in, but only one question. He can come in, but no cameras. He can come in, but just by himself. And then he's like, I'll debate you. And then he said, guys, what is a debate? Sheikh Uthran said, what is a debate? What do you understand? What is a child? Can you define what a child is? Now he's like, what is a debate? Ask me one question and then you must leave. What is a debate? You can't make this up, guys. Uthran sprinted. Uthran the man. And watch this as well. Notice the guy called David in Toronto said to Orthodox Muslim and said to Malik. Now, Maliking, my dripping. Remember that the Sahaba used to walk around the Kaaba and they used to leak. They used to drip from their semen used to drip from them. They were leaking. But Malik leaks more than them. He's leaking info more than these guys had dripping semen. Malik and Orthodox lips that were there, David said to them, your prophet is a pervert. To their face. Those Muppets did nada. Klum nada. Now we've got another guy called Captain something. He's a Hebrew Israelite sitting with Uthran, Zutman, sitting with him, said, your prophet would be on Epstein Island. To his face. And again, they did klum nada, nothing. To his face that he should be on Epstein Island. But they want to flex when they're sitting on their lives and I'll do this and I'll do that. But these guys did nada, zero, zilch, nil, nix. They all mouth behind the camera when no one is there. But as soon as you have a debate or you step up and you're like, okay, let's talk about it, these guys will make every excuse in the book. So my leaking that leaked more than, and let me give you the guys the hadith again. I want to read the hadith for you guys so you can see. It said that there was only 5 days until the Arafah. We were going out and our male organs were dripping with semen. Sunan Ibn Majah 2980. These guys were leaking from the Willy Winkies. But Malik's, he leaks more than these guys dripping with semen. Crazy, absolutely crazy. My main account is back. Thank you guys. If anyone prayed for it, your prayers were answered, because I sure know I did. Because it took a little. They tried to send it back to the Kaaba, but they my site said, "Listen, I was just there yesterday. Yesterday I was still at the Kaaba, man. I just literally landed today, so you can't be sending me back. I kissed that pagan stone, and I'm back. My account was like, don't make me do that again, because all these people slobbering on it is bad and evil. Bad and evil. But I think we're done. Let's just go to the Psalms. Let's go back to the Psalms, because there's no Muslim. I'm going to change my topic. I think I could do Surah 381, asking Muslims, who is this talking about? And watch them lie. But maybe I should even go to what's the Injil. We haven't done what's the Injil for a while. We haven't asked where the Injil is. Maybe I should go back to another classic. I may find another topic, depending if I have any time. What do you say? But up your A+18 sign. Can't you see it there? It's next to the face of this young girl, covered. That's the 6-year-old, guys. She's sick 1,400 years ago. That's what they look like. Grown woman. Okay, today, Psalm 59. Psalm 59. You guys realize that we've gone through over this 59. There's 75 Psalms so far, because before I started from number 1, I read about 15, which is brilliant. So God bless you guys for until the end when we do the Psalm. And as I said before, talking to Muslims is like listening to us, is like being part of with the Dementors. If you guys saw the Harry Potter and the Dementors sucked the life out of Harry Potter and his crew, you'll notice it leaves them empty. All the joy is taken out of them. Talking about a child being penetrated drains you. It takes all the joy out of you. So I go back to the Bible so that it can fill my cup again. Because again, talking about striking your wife, committing adultery, and even sleeping with prepubescents, man, this I promise you drains. It's an awful topic, but something that needed to be addressed. They can run from this topic, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is as well, Duron, and I've spoken to Duron, and we are going to be working together to try to do a topic like this on his live. They haven't, he's pulling good crowds on his live. I would love to run this with him on his live, and this will cause a lot of problems. A lot of problems. But getting back to Psalm 59. Deliver me from my enemies, O my God. Protect me from those who rise up against me. Deliver me from those who work evil, and save me from bloodthirsty men. For behold, they lie in wait for my life, like Surah 9:5. Fierce men stir up strife against me. For no transgression or sin of mine, O Lord. For no fault of mine, they run and make ready. Awake, come to meet me and see. You, Lord God of hosts, are God of Israel. Rouse yourself to punish all the nations. Spare none of those who treacherously plot evil. Each evening they come back, howling like dogs, prowling about the city. There they are, bellowing with their mouths, with swords in their lips. For who, they think, will hear us? But you, O Lord, laugh at them. You hold all the nations in derision. O my strength, I will watch for you. For you, O God, are my fortress. My God, in his steadfast love, will meet me. God will let me look in triumph on my enemies. Unalive them not, lest my people forget. Make them totter by your power and bring them down. O Lord, our shield, for the sin of their mouths, the words of their lips, let them be trapped in their pride. For the cursing and the lies they will utter, consume them in wrath, consume them till they are no more, that they may know that God rules over Jacob to the ends of the earth. Each evening they come back, howling like dogs and prowling like about the city. They wander about for food, they growl if they do not get their full. But I will sing of your strength, I will sing aloud of your steadfast love in the morning. For you have been to my fortress, and a refuge in the day of my distress. O my strength, I will sing praises to you, for you, O God, are my fortress, and God who shows me steadfast love. Amen. Amen. And I apologize again, guys. I know in the middle of the first half of this live, the account had to take a bit of a detour. But if you notice what I did on the YouTube, I quickly jumped to my intro song. I played my intro song while I changed to my backup account. I think that is what I'm going to do from now on. If the one gets hit, I'm just going to go straight to my backups, to my intro song, so you guys can see that. And then if that happens, you know what happened. That means that they sent me on another trip, even though sometimes, I'm jet lagged and I want to just be home. They want to send me on a new trip, which is unfortunate, but, c'est la vie. Looks as if I've got one more person that wants to come up. Let's see if this is the last guy. The Deep, how are you, sir?
Hi, James. How are you?
All good, my man.
Always wonderful to listening you, man.
Brilliant, my man. You are not a Muslim, I can hear that.
No. Actually, we had a private chat as well earlier, a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay. Sorry, dude. I
just wanted to.
There's a lot of people I'm chatting to, but God forgive me, but God bless you.
It's okay. Thank you so much. And it's amazing. Even you've been looking forward some topics, and just a thought came into my mind. I don't know if you want to address this issue as well. I was reading Hadith, and the current Quran they have is from Uthman, but I was reading a couple of Hadiths. It says Uthman was not even interested by Allah and His Prophet.
Oh, you must just send that to me. That would be interesting.
Oh yeah. I mean, because there was a Hadith where Prophet was sitting on a well near Abu Bakr sat and Umar sat, but Uthman sat on the other side of the well, and then Prophet said, their graves will be beside me because they are sitting beside me, but Uthman, you will not be next to my grave as well.
Oh my goodness, man. You can't make this up, guys. Each time you think you've learned something new about Islam, something new.
And yes, I thought that. Yeah, and there's one more other. There was another one which Umar actually narrated that Prophet said something about Uthman, and they want to tell Uthman about it, that the Prophet doesn't even trust him. Not even Allah.
Well, no one
one's really
interested in it. Thank you for that, my man. Thank you so much. I just want to quickly read a quick chat.
Okay,
thank you
brother.
so much for that. No worries, man. You take care. God bless.
Okay. Okay.
God bless.
Take care, man. Thank you.
So I just want to read this from on YouTube, guys, and it says this. Please, at some point, this is from John Geometrics Maximus, says, please, at some point, make a video about the argument the Abduls present in relation to the Pharisees asking John the Baptist, are you the prophet? They try to insert Mo in there. Absolutely true. I just need to remember what I need to do, because that would be a good live as well. Who was the prophet? But this goes against sort of 381, talking about who this prophet is. In sort of 381, guys, don't forget, 381, maybe I should do a live on that. But again, a topic like that demands that you have intelligent Muslims requesting, because this is deeper than me asking about 434. This is them actually reading what the Quran teaches and then, you know, addressing. So if I were to do 381, let me just see, 381, because I'm done with this topic today. I hope you guys are satisfied with it, because again, it becomes tiring talking about, especially when it comes to prepubescence, it's evil and sick. And these people think it's okay to they're just sick. 381, why can't you find me? Why can't I find you? Yeah, but anyway, guys, let me find 381. Okay. Okay, so we'll do the 381. I can do the 381 because I mean, we've got Dude for Christ at the bottom there saying he loves 381. And I'm telling you guys, especially for the Muslims, I want you guys to actually go and research this topic. And as I said, there's not too many people that understand what 381 actually talks about or what it actually means. And it demands that they actually pick up their books and you know, just so we can get an understanding from it. Yeah, so guys, God bless you. Thank you so much again. I appreciate it. If you're not following me on YouTube, please follow me on YouTube, The Agents 007, The Agents 007. If there is a Muslim, I'll got 5 minutes more. I'll allow a Muslim to come up and make it make sense. But please, again, thank you so much for all the likes, the shares. I promise you guys, I appreciate it more than you ever know, because without you guys, I mean, you know, I just appreciate it. We need to share the lives. Thank you so much again to Chris. Chris, who is doing Oki, is doing an amazing job of clipping and making smaller, shorter videos, recordings, and he's sharing with me. So we're collaborating when it comes on the YouTube. This goes for you guys as well. If you guys are collaborating or want to make videos and stuff, because I mean, the Muslims are giving us a lot of good stuff. They're giving us a lot of good stuff. Like, for example, just Mufasa agreeing with 434, 424, and 65.4, him agreeing that those three things are better than eating pork because this is a different ruling or a different, I forget what he said, I forget the word. But he basically said because they're not on the same level, it's okay to distinguish between them. But this shows you the mind of a Muslim. The mind of a Muslim is saying, penetrate a child, but make sure you don't eat pork because that will give you cancer. He literally said eating pork will give you cancer, but but sleep with a child. That's fine. That's not a problem. Prepubescent, not a problem. Dingy as much as you want, but just don't eat pork because that's bad for you. That's the God of Islam, guys. That's what I come out with at the end of this conversation. This is what they're leaving me with, is believing that they are okay with penetrating a prepubescent, but they're definitely not eating pork. Super. I will try and make a live on the verse 381, and we will see if we can get some mu'minuns to join us, because this will be an interesting conversation, because guess where it'll take us? It'll take us to the Bible, because then we have to find out if Jesus was mentioned. Don't forget that, because this will take us all the way back, like the Quran teaches. O Jesus, son of Mary, recall my blessings upon you and your mother, that I supported you with the Holy Spirit. I support you with the Holy Spirit, and heal the blind and the leper, that you may bring back the dead out, that you brought out the dead. If this is the one that they're talking about, guys, if this is who it's talking about, then it's definitely not Muhammad. So this is going to be interesting. Hopefully we get an intelligent Muslim that wants to talk about this. I will just try to see how I'm going to present it.